Here.
An autograph.
I've got a friend that's got AIDS.
What? They're shooting up? You think that's the only way people get AIDS?
They're educating themselves.
Someone is infected with HIV without a blood test.
Their employees.
On this AIDS thing.
The issue here is education.
Their congregations and friends.
Enlightening sermon. I'm glad you came.
We need to talk to our donors.
Their community.
This says that AIDS is growing faster in small towns.
Especially their families.
You and Nelson, you think you're invincible. No one is.
Education does make a difference.
My name is Eileen, and last year I found out that I have HIV.
If we're going to prevent the spread of HIV, each and every one of us must do our part. Find out how you can help prevent HIV. Call 1-800-342-AIDS.
Get your sports from Ed Whalen, weeknights on Newsroom 6.
Stadium in Corvallis, Oregon. It's the 45th annual Shrine Bowl, the Shrine All-Star Football Classic. First time in 45 years this game has been played out of Portland Civic Stadium. It features the recently graduated senior all-stars from the 4A schools in Oregon, the schools from the south, and the schools from the north. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Stone. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play this afternoon. The gentleman to my right, no stranger to high school football and no stranger to everybody here in Corvallis. For 15 years, he's been the head coach of the Corvallis Spartans. He has participated in this game at both levels as a player and a coach. And Gary Beck, how do you approach this game compared to a regular season game?
Well, I think as a coach, you approach it, you're spoiled. You get great athletes that come into camp. You get kids that are really anxious to play and have a great ability to learn what you're trying to do, so you can put in a lot more things quicker than you would back at home. I think as a player, there's a couple things. I think once you had a chance to relax and get comfortable playing with some different teammates, you understand it's a great thrill to play in a great game that benefits the children up at the hospital. And I think one thing the players need to remember is they need to step up the level of play one notch, maybe. Instead of playing against one or two stars on a Friday night, in the fall you're playing against a field full of stars. So that'll be interesting, but I think they'll understand that. That's why they're here.
The enthusiasm level picked up tremendously from the players' standpoint when they saw the weather conditions, about 15 degrees cooler than it was midweek. That'll certainly make one of our two field reporters very happy. One of them, Ed Whalen.
Hey, that's right. Hot or cold, this is going to be a great game. I think that when you talk about the South squad, which I'll be on the South sidelines, you got to talk about one main man, Joe Douglas from South Salem. And Douglas bought 3 of his South Salem linemen who blocked for him all season with him. You know, the South is looking for revenge this year. They lost 29-7 to the North last year, so it's going to be a great football game. I think you can see the North opening up, running a lot of pro sets, and the South on the ground, running the football a lot with Joe Douglas. Now, for the North story, here's a pretty good linebacker out of Louisville, Kentucky, a colleague and friend of mine, Craig Cheatham.
Ed, I'm going to have to sign you up for my personal PR guy. Earlier, I talked about Andre Griggs from Jefferson, the linebacker who will be doing most of the blitzing for the North squad. Now let's talk about Mike Nye from Tigard. He's big, he's quick, he's going to be shooting the gaps for the North defense. He is the guy to watch on the line. He'll be making a lot of the movements on the line, and he will be opening up some holes for Griggs to shoot the gaps and hopefully, for the North at least, catch some of those running backs in the backfield and keep them there. Let's go back to the booth.
And in just a moment, you'll have an opportunity to put numbers and faces together as we come back and introduce you to the players for the North and South here at the 45th annual Shrine Bowl from Parker Stadium in Corvallis, Oregon. We'll be right back.
Pivot Power by Tenel 360.
I tried out the Tenels. They have the grip, they have the bite that I need, the support where you can twist and your shoe won't get caught in the turf.
It's a fact. Conventional cleats often lock into the turf. Only Tenel's patented 360 concept gives you pivot power, the performance edge, the best your game can be.
Tenel 360 is available at all Anderson Sporting Goods and Jake's Athletic Shop in Corvallis.
You know, I've got my high school reunion coming up. Feel like I've only got 2 weeks to make something of myself. And I'm the one who has to track down everybody in the class who hated the cafeteria food. That could take years. But hey, my career doesn't stop for this, so I gotta make the best use of my time.
Mr. Maxwell on line 2.
Mr. Maxwell. Luckily, I've got some help from US West, like US West Additional Lines for my computer and fax, so I can interface with the old gang. Hey, chicken legs! Yeah, you coming to the reunion? Great! I'll fax you directions. Yeah, okay. Bye. And thanks to US West video conferencing, I made the time to be there. Great meeting. I'm off to my reunion. Class of 72. Man, with the help of US West, I got it all together. Now I can relax. Spend some time with my fellow alums. Hey, chicken leg!
You did a great job, buddy.
Well, they didn't name me most likely to succeed for nothing. Or was it best dressed?
US West, making the most of your time.
And now to introduce the little daddies of high school football, let's go down to the big daddy of Northwest Sports, Ed Whalen.
Well, thank you very much. And hello, everybody. Nice seeing you again. Welcome to the 45th Annual Shrine Bowl. Indeed, a pleasure to be here. Let's introduce these fine young football players on the field. Starting for the North squad, number 1 from James Madison, Thomas James. Number 2 from Jefferson, Suntory Robertson. Number 3 from Oregon City, Brian Piaski. Number 4 from Sunset, Paul Burton. Number 7 out of Gresham, Curtis Loeb. Number 8 out of Sam Barlow, David Douglas. Number 11 out of Lake Oswego, Pete Fisher. Number 12 from Jesuit, Diallo Lewis. Number 17 from Jesuit, Joe Volstek. Number 19 from David Douglas, Derek Pearson. Number 21 from Gresham, John Valdez. Number 23 from Glencoe, Matt Kilgris. Number 27 from Westland, Jason Lawrence. Number 30 from Lake Ridge, Cameron Reynolds. Number 22 from Milwaukee, Neil Findle. Number 32 from Sam Barlow, Willie Huffman. Number 34 from Franklin, Travis Taylor. Number 40 from Marshall, DeDamon Williams. Number 41 from Glencoe, Jim Rufner. Number 42 from Wilson, Brandon Prentice. Number 44 from Jefferson, Andre Griggs. Number 47 from Gresham, Brian Ludwig. Number 54 from Lake Oswego, Eric Brigham. Number 56 from Centennial, Jason Ball. Number 58 from Tiger, Mike Nye. Number 62 from Jesuit, Greg Koshel. Number 68 from Lake Oswego, Paul Sasick Jr. Number 69 from Sandy, Jason Severin. Number 74 from Canby, Ron Asbo. Number 75 from Sunset, Hayes Willoughby. Number 77 from Wilson, Jeremy Shetler. Number 78 from Barlow, Tom Nelson. Number 79 from Wilson, Rob Liniger. Number 81 from Barlow, Phil Freeman. Number 84 from Reynolds, Jeff Sinclair. Number 65 out of Beaverton, Jason Gray. And number 97 from Forest Grove, B.J. Basinski. Manager, Greg Simders. Assistant coach out of Jefferson, Mark Pender. Assistant coach out of Lake Oswego, Gary Weber. Assistant coach out of Jesuit, Ken Potter. And the head coach of the North squad out of Sam Barlow, Jerry Williams. Ladies and gentlemen, your North football team and cheerleaders. And now, a big round of applause for the South football team. Number 2 out of Marshfield, Chris Peach. Number 3 out of South Salem, Joe Douglas. Number 4 out of Willamette, Mark Earnhardt. Number 5 out of Ashland, Ryan Thomas. Number 7 out of Bend, Ryan Longwell. Number 8 out of South Medford, John Hammock. Number 9 out of Ashland, Chris Chambers. Number 12 out of South Medford, Ted Stark. Number 14 out of Marshfield, Mark Helfrich. Number 20 out of North Salem, Mark Santos. Number 22 out of Grants Pass, Don Wall. Number 23 out of McNary, Jeff Crampton. Number 24 out of Klamath Union, John Fairbank. Number 27 out of Pendleton, John Duff. Number 32 from West Albany, Pat Hampel. Number 34 out of Mazama, David Beeson. Number 39 out of Mountainville, Gabe Shearer. 44 from Shelton, Tate Winterstrom. Number 48 from McNary, Greg Doden. 51 from Hermiston, Ryan Corey. 55 from Eagle Point, Royce McElroy. 56 from Pendleton, Ryan Adelman. 57 from Marshfield, Rod Miles. 61 out of LeGrand, Jeff Upward. 64 from McKay, Matt Stephen. 69 out of Corvallis, Mark Gray. Number 72 from Mazama, Alan Ferrara. Number 73 from Crook County, Seth Michael. Number 74 from South Salem, John Petsu. Number 75 from Thurston, Willie Rife. Number 77 from North Bend, Travis Patterson. 79 from South Salem, Alex Dunn. Number 80 out of Ashland, Lance Mimnow. 81 out of Springfield, Corey Maddox. 86 from Thurston, Jeff Zellick. And number 96 from Ashland, John Kruger. Your managers for the South team, Eric Nagel and Brian Luman. Assistant coach from McDairy, Gary Swanson. An assistant coach from Pendleton, Wayne Looney. An assistant coach from Marshfield, Kent Weigel. And your head coach out of Ashland, Jim Nagel. Ladies and gentlemen, your South football team and cheerleaders. Now, back upstairs to the booth.
All right, thank you, Ed. And we'll be prepared to take a look at the starting lineups and let you know who won the toss of the coin, who'll be receiving the ball, as we're just about set to kick off the 45th annual Shrine Bowl, the All-Star Classic from Parker Stadium in Corvallis, Oregon.
As if drinking Pepsi wasn't rewarding enough, now they have a Gotta Have It card.
You ever had a Pepsi, Cindy?
It gets you great deals on everything from Reebok shoes to Norwegian Cruise Line.
More food, Cindy?
But what really impressed me about this card was the incredible attention and courtesy people show you.
A towel, Cindy?
Hey, Cindy, would you like to steer the ship again?
We got to get one of those cards.
Today, there's a powerful name in aspirin-free pain relief. Aspirin-free Anacin, maximum strength.
The aspirin-free Anacin worked beautifully.
Aspirin-free Anacin gives you strong, fast relief. Yet, like Tylenol, it's 100% aspirin-free, so it's gentle on your stomach.
The aspirin-free Anacin worked as effectively as Tylenol and was as gentle on my stomach.
Aspirin-free Anacin, maximum strength. And for nighttime pain with sleeplessness, get new aspirin-free Anacin PM.
I like the sound of a big juicy steak. Sizzler, sounds good. Throw in a salad now, that sounds great. Sizzler, yeah, sounds good.
Listen to this. A juicy sirloin steak and our all-you-can-eat salad bar. Two big favorites together for a short time for just $6.99.
Sizzler, that sounds good.
Just moments away from the kickoff for the 45th annual Shrine Bowl here at Parker Stadium in Corvallis, Oregon. Mike Stone along with Gary Beck. Before we get to that, we want to talk to you about an opportunity you'll have throughout the course of this game to help some children. The crippled children of the Shriners Hospital. That's what this game is for. All the proceeds go to benefit the Shriners Hospital in Portland for crippled children. There will be opportunities throughout this broadcast. You will see the number you have on the screen now go on throughout the ball game. We hope you will take advantage and please support the cause. The game is the window dressing. The real reason we are here is to help children. That's what the Shriners do. They're more than just gentlemen who march in parades with hats with tassels. They have big hearts. They do this for one reason, and that's to raise money for the Shriners Hospital to benefit crippled children. We need your help, and we hope you'll do it during the course of the game while you're being entertained. Earlier, they had a toss of the coin, Gary, and the South won the toss. They will be receiving the ball first. And the officials that are any of these guys close personal friends of yours, Larry Joy, Wally Hayden, Mike Stansberry, any of those guys?
I'd like to get to know them better. I think they'll do a good job, and I think we need to have them. They won't play the game without them. I'm glad they're here.
You can tell he's a high school football coach, and the season's only about 5 weeks away. What a diplomat. Those will be the officials for the 45th annual Shrine Bowl here this afternoon. A couple of rule changes. You will see that they are kicking off from the 35-yard line. And at no one time will you see more than 5 people rush the passer. They are trying to provide a little entertainment for the people here. That may concern the North, as they were expressing deep concern when I was down here Wednesday about the receiving corps for the South, Gary, and they were quite concerned. And so they say, we're going to challenge them. We're going to go man coverage. We saw some comments in the paper from some of the North players. It's athletic ability against execution is what they're trying to say here early.
Well, I think that's the easiest way to put in a defense, play man coverage. If you can do that physically, I think that will be to their benefit on that side of the ball. I think it'll help the South team, because one of the things in putting in a passing game, I think that's difficult in this type of game is to coordinate the blocking schemes, the protection schemes. I think to run receivers down the field and run patterns is easy, but in terms of protection, it's going to be a little bit easier knowing only 5 can rush at one time.
It's not as simple as some young football players may think on passing. It's just standing there and leaning against somebody, is it?
Well, in order to throw the ball, you have to give the quarterback time, and I think that's the real key in any passing game is the pass protection.
We'll have an opportunity to see some of the speed professed by the North All-Stars in this ball game. They say they have 2 or 3 of the fastest players on the field, and I wouldn't argue with them. They've got some pretty quick people, and Robertson and Thomas and a few others. And they were talking perhaps like that speed will make up for any breakdown in their pass coverage. And Jim Nagel's been here before. He's wily.
Well, I think that's true. Speed can cover up for mistakes at times, but I think Coach Nagel will have things ready for him and try to take advantage of some things.
Well, back is the Offensive Player of the Year for the South. Back at his own 5, it is Joe Douglas will be receiving the kick, and Paul Burton, who was having some growing pains getting used to kicking off this turf for the first time in this week. Let's see how deep he gets it. It's a new experience for the kickers in this game. Now here he'll be going off the tee, but on the PATs and field goals he will have to use the surface. From the 7, Joe Douglas.
Pretty good coverage there by the North team.
Not bad. Douglas gets it back to the 27-yard line, and that's where the South will start their first possession. 1st and 10 from their own 27, a 58-yard kick and a 20-yard return. South, take a look at that South offense for you across the board. For the South, Chris Chambers will be at the quarterback spot. Let's look at the tackles. You've got the tackles, the ends, good ones. Wide receivers, Earhart and Thomas, big concern. Douglas, the key man in that backfield. Immediately on top, out to the side. No, could not get it done. Pass intended for Mike Earhart, one of the good ones, but the coverage was there.
Well, it's good coverage. It's a quick way to find out if that speed is going to be neutralized. Just have him try to run by him on a quick fade route there. I suspect you'll see that route again before the day's over.
2 years ago, when I was doing this broadcast, pretty much the same thing happened with Coach Nagel. He came right back with the same play if he saw a problem in the coverage. Single back set this time for the South. Chris Chambers from Ashland, the quarterback, in trouble, big trouble, and he's dropped hard by number 17, Joel Volsky.
You have to give the coverage, I think, credit there. There really wasn't anybody open downfield. It was a good decision to hold on to the ball, but the coverage really helped the pass rush on that play.
Outside linebacker kept him inside where they could drop him, and loss of yardage here. Here's Chambers. Once again, as you pointed out, he had nowhere to go. Wisely held on to the ball. Would like to have gotten back close to the line of scrimmage, but he didn't have a chance. He's back to the 18-yard line. They'll bring up 3rd and 19. Ball just over the 17, between the 17 and 18. South in possession, opening kickoff, no score, 13:51 to go first half. Trips left for wide receivers. Single back. Chambers immediately goes out to Ryan Thomas. A little hitch pattern and nothing there. He maybe picked up a yard, and that's all, Gary.
Well, it's a safe play inside your 20. One thing you don't want to do is risk a big sack or fumble inside your 20 early in the game. And maybe that would have been a good one to run early to get a little confidence going.
A couple of good kickers in this ball game. We're going to have an opportunity to see Ryan Longwell now punt the ball for the South. From Bend, he'll be going to the University of California on a full football scholarship. Longwell, the punter. Cameron Reynolds, driven back, bobbles the ball, a little bit of an adventure, gets it at the 30. He's upfield to the 40, he's got some room. And it was the punter, Longwell, did not stop him. Well, I guess you can excuse kickers for not knowing how to wrap up, Coach, but there is a hard runner, and he just about popped it.
That's the one runner the North coaches were high on, and talking to him before the game. Got a little bit of a break, a low spiral kick, and it gave him a chance to mishandle, but still get a chance to get over to the ball. Did a good job of running along the sideline.
54-yard punt, 35-yard return. Here we got a chance to take a look at it again, Gary, and
there's a good block there. You're not getting any clips there, and that's a good thing with the short week of practice. Does a good job of getting to the ball, and there's some hard running there. Got those shoulder pads underneath the other bands, and that usually will help the runner make more yardage.
You get your pads under the defender, you've got a better chance, and indeed he did. 54-yard punt, 35-yard return. So now we'll see the North operate for the first time. Ball just inside the South territory. We'll call it 1st and 10 North at the South 49-yard line. No score. Game being played at Parker Stadium, Corvallis, Oregon. Runners in the eye for the North. Willie Huffman, number 32, and Cameron Reynolds, number 30. Handoff, second man through, and not much there. South, excuse me, swarms all over it. Maybe a pickup of a yard. It'll bring up second and a long 8.
Good play to start the series. Something very simple. Let the lineman fire out and get a chance to get a lick in, and I think that's a good way to start the game.
There's some big people in this ball game, as always. Big linemen both sides of the ball. You're seeing a 4-man front. An outside backer stepping up now for the South. Offset backs. Curtis Loeb out aggression, the quarterback. He had his man right in the hands and dropped. Tended out on the side for his tight end, B.J. Basinski. Basinski could not hang on.
It's a well-designed play, cleared out with the outside receivers and let the tight end come underneath. Probably a good idea early in the game. The receivers are a little bit leery getting, or the DBs are leery getting beat deep, so they ran out of there quite quickly.
3rd and 8. Single back. Long count by Loeb. Rolls to the right. He's going to go with it. They close quickly on that. That's a tough play for a corner to make, isn't it? He's got to know whether to come up.
Well, he's out there on an island. He's not sure whether to come up. He's probably feeling a little bit disappointed they lost contain, but they did a good job recovering. Didn't break down too soon. Didn't come up too soon. He got back and forced the punting situation.
They got the ball down inside the 45 to the 44. It brings up 4th and 6. And Paul Burton back on his own 44-yard line to punt for the North.
Back in punt formation, number 4 is Paul Burton.
Tried to angle it, but it didn't. And what coverage. That has to be number 2, Suntory Robertson. No one touched him at all, Coach.
Well, I think good punt. That's the type of player. Joe Douglas down there receiving the ball inside the 5-yard line. You might have wanted him to let the ball go in the end zone, but he's the type of player that wants to take some chances, and that's probably why he's an all-star. He's got a lot of confidence, and you're right, there was good coverage by the North team.
No return, 41-yard punt, but quite often in these All-Star Classics, these special teams can be a whole new adventure because they just haven't had a whole lot of time to work on it.
It's the last thing you work on probably in these games.
But one of the first things you work on with him is inside the 10. Let it go in. Handoff up the right side, not much there. The North collapsing on the play, maybe a pickup of a yard for the South. Bring up 2nd and 9.
It's just a quick trap play. It's a good play down inside the 5. Right now we're seeing just the field position game. I think South was probably happy to survive giving up the ball inside their 50 off of the punt return, but now they got to get out of this hole and get some good field position.
81, Corey Maddox, you saw, bringing the play in to Chris Chambers, the quarterback. Chambers out of Ashland, 6'3", 205, goes with the first man up the right side. Again, tough going, crosses the 5, maybe to the 6-yard line, and bring up 3rd down. They're not going to get too frisky down inside their own 10. Ball carrier Jeff Crampton went to McNary. Not a big ball carrier, but boy, he runs hard.
Good hard runner, good quick feet, very shifty in the open field, and very good in between the hash marks, I think, and that's probably why they've moved him to fullback. I think normally he played tailback at McNary, but has a good quickness. You like to run those inside the fullback plays with.
And he ran into Brian Ludwig. A lot of people have run into Brian Ludwig, the linebacker out of Gresham. He's number 47. Chambers from the end zone. Tried to find the seam, could not do it. Again, good coverage. There was good coverage. He got some deep help, and it was covered well.
Yeah, maybe trying to get a little bit too much on the route there. He probably opened a little bit earlier and then maybe waited a little bit too long to get the ball off. But got to give the North credit. They're playing pretty tough defense right now.
Cameron Reynolds back deep for the North at about midfield. Not unusual for the first quarter of a game like this. This has been a long time between football seasons, and these guys are trying to get that football mind going again.
Yeah, they're feeling it out, I'm sure. You can practice for 10 days, but practice isn't the same as playing a game, and it'll take them a few minutes to get going, but I think the quality of player you have will make them get going here in a couple minutes.
All right, and they'll have an opportunity as we go away for a couple of moments. No score, 10:48 to go, first quarter. We'll be right back to Parker Stadium.
It's one of life's great mysteries. Why is it that things you run out of most are never on sale when you need them? At Fred Meyer, you don't have to wait for sales because they price the things you run out of most at low prices today and every day. That means you can buy what you want when you want it, not when someone else decides to offer it to you. It puts you in control. So the day you run out, you'll find it for less at Fred Meyer.
Shriners helped kids. Kids like Rich Belanger.
5 years ago, I lost my feet in an accident. Thanks to Shriners Hospitals for Crippled Children, I've been able to remain as active as my friends. More active than some. And the care that I received at Shriners Hospitals didn't cost me or my family 1 penny. If you know someone under the age of 18 with a problem of the bones, joints, or muscles, the Shriners might be able to help.
Shriners Hospitals.
No score with 10:48 remaining in the first quarter here at Parker Stadium in Corvallis, the 45th annual Shrine Bowl. Neither team with a first down so far. Only 5 yards total offense for both the North and the South. 5 yards total offense each. It's early. Longwell with a punt. New, not one of his better efforts. Low punt, takes a good hop, and look out. Here comes Cameron Reynolds. Has he got room? No, he does not. The South learned their lesson that time, Coach.
Well, he was very close to getting to the wall again. He took one little hesitation step and wasn't able to get there. And they did do a better job of covering the punt.
51-yard punt. Nice roll. It's kind of like the golf courses in Portland now with a water drought. Nice roll.
Punters like this AstroTurf.
51-yard punt, 5-yard return. Here comes the North. Their second possession. Quarterback Curtis Loeb, 6 foot, 192, out of Gresham. Played for the Gophers, coached by Gary Stouts. Now Loeb needs to find somebody. Wrong guy. Got away. Got a man, and it's complete inside the 40-yard line. Good for a first down. The pass complete for the North, down to number 6, the receiver. Correction, I read the wrong number on that.
Well, that was a good job by the quarterback there. He made that play, kind of stepped in the pocket and hustled out there and got outside. And then you have to give the receiver credit for coming back to the ball. I'm sure he broke out of his original route and got back to help the quarterback out.
Pass complete to number 8, David Douglas. Lone setback. Loeb again on 1st and 10. Hangs in there, doesn't he? Cameron Reynolds complete inside the 25, down close to the 23-yard line. Another first down, about a 15-yard pass play for the North.
Good job by the quarterback again, and then allowing his receiver. He stays in there, a lot of traffic with those linemen, but he has enough guts to stay in there, and he stays patient, and the receiver does break away from those linebackers. And you know, you get a running back on a linebacker, they're going to break free after time. Good pass protection.
Linebackers do not like to have to handle Cameron Reynolds, do they? Split backs. They're going to try the left side with Cameron Reynolds, and he picks up maybe a yard, tough yard and a half, and that's about it. Getting up from the group of tacklers down there for the South, number 69, Mark Gregg, and somebody you know well. He played in Corvallis, and he's going to be playing for Rich Brooks in the future.
Right. I'm sure the University of Oregon's happy to have him. Playing unfamiliar, playing nose guard today. Normally he'd play tackle for us in the fall.
We'll talk about his size here in just a moment, Coach. 2nd and 8. Loeb rolls right, pursued. Got a man right down the middle. Complete. John Duff out of Pendleton. Another first down. It's just inside the 10, 1st and goal North.
Well, it looked like the South lost a little breakdown a little bit in the coverage there. They had a zone wide open there, and the quarterback does a good job of finding the receiver. The receiver does a good job of spotting up in the open area. Just missed the sack there. But,
Loeb is 3 of 4 in the passing department, 42 yards already. Split backs again behind Loeb, double receivers, wide left. Loeb rolls to his left, cuts back, thought he saw something, whatever it was closed down very quickly by the South defense. Number 74, John Petsu, among others, in on the stop. Petsu from South Salem.
Type of play, they were trying to set up a little goal line pick, run the 2 outside receivers back to the inside and run it back out in the flat. The South did a good job of defending it.
Receivers shuffling the plays for the North. Curtis Loeb stays in at quarterback. Very efficient quarterback. Ran that Gopher offense very well. Good intermediate range passer. Handoff off the right side. All given off that time to number 32, Willie Huffman, who played fullback for Barlow. Down there, you'll take 2 or 3 yards, won't you?
It changes inside the 10-yard line. 2.5 yards is like 4 or 5 out in the open field. And so you have to kind of change your thinking a little bit.
No score, 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Parker Stadium, Corvallis North threatening inside the 5 at the 4. 3rd down. Backs in the eye behind Loeb. First man through, Huffman. He's all the way through and across the goal line. Touchdown North.
Simple, just little isolation play here to let the fullback just run. I think it's just man one-on-one blocking up front, and the North offensive line does a good job of getting the South defenders back in the end zone.
Well, perfect execution in that drive by the North, and run very capably by Curtis Loeb, the quarterback. Huffman gets the score. Now we'll see Burton kick off the surface here, off the turf, artificial surface. Ooh.
It's doubly difficult. I think
it's bothering him.
Well, I think the turf is a little bit difficult. Then you're working with a new holder too that you've only had a short time to work with. All those things go into making a kicker feel comfortable. So I think those things add into the problem maybe he's facing today.
Well, no problem now for the North. They did get in for a score. The PAT was missed. It is now 6-0 with 7:55 to go in the first quarter. And the South will get the ball and another opportunity to get some of the jitters out offensively. There you see Huffman. And again, it's just power football.
Well, it's a good job of running by him. He got the good forward lean. He knows he's inside the 5. He just got to get the ball over the goal line. And you can see that most of the South defenders are back in the end zone.
Back deep to receive the kickoff for the South will be the Offensive Player of the Year, Joe Douglas.
Good drive, a 52-yard drive. I think anytime you have, it's a lot easier to play the game if your drive's only going to have to be 52 yards. They've had good field position now. I think they started on their own 48 and they started on the South's 49. So if they can keep that up through the game becomes much easier for them.
52 yards, 7 plays, and it only took them 2 minutes 53 seconds. That 4-yard run by Willie Huffman from Barlow, the head coach of the North All-Stars, the head coach of Barlow, Jerry Williams. Now we're set for the kickoff. And it's short. Ball bobble picked up by one of the up men, Mark Santos. Santos brings it across the 25, near the 26-yard line, pretty much middle of the field. And that'll be where the South will start their offense again. 1st and 10 from their own 26. You know a little bit about Mark Santos.
Well, he's run for 1,000 yards, I think, 3 straight years at North Salem, and we're happy to see him graduate. Little indecision there right when he caught it, but I'm sure he'll get used to it and get on with a good game.
Right after this play, we're going to send it down and have a conversation with Curtis Loeb. Craig Cheatham's got him on the side down there. Runners in the eye for the South. Chambers, the quarterback. He's out of Ashland. Second man through. Right side. A lot of room. Still going. Joe Douglas showing the moves that made him the Offensive Player of the Year. Carries that ball all the way up to the 45-yard line before he's knocked out of bounds. 1st and 10 South. An 18-yard gain. Let's go down to Craig Cheatham.
Thanks, guys. Curtis Loeb from Gresham High going to Portland State, and now you know why. Those nice little touch passes right across the middle. He also showed a little scrambling out there. Maybe do a little bit of that at Portland State?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I get a chance to roll out like we've been doing with Barlow's offense here. I kind of like that, and it gives me kind of a double threat option to look at. A little bit tougher for the defenses.
Why Portland State?
Well, it's basically because of Al Borges, the quarterback coach. He's the finest in the country out here, and he's going to do a great job with me, and I just got a great opportunity at Portland State.
All right, you're doing a great job out here. Thanks a lot, Curtis. Keep up the good work. Let's go back to the booth.
Chris Chambers is warming to the task area. A pass complete out to Jeff Crampton of McNary. Another first down. Let's take a peek at it, Coach.
Well, it just comes right off the play they ran prior to this play, a little play action, and nobody accounts for the fullback slipping into the flat. And like most cases, you get over half your yardage on the passing game after the ball is caught, and that's what happened there.
Well, things opened up and livened up quite a bit here at Parker Stadium. Inside the 35 of the 34, first down. Chris Chambers, nope. Skipped in the turf.
Might have caught his toe in the turf there a little bit. Sometimes your feet, especially on a dry day like this, those shoes will stick in the turf a little bit. He hasn't played a great deal on the turf other than just in the playoffs in the late season last year, so that might have happened right there.
There was the discussions to water this field midweek when it looked like it was going to be boiling hot, but they didn't have to do that today.
And unfortunately for the linemen, they didn't have to do that.
Right now you've got an even man front, 4 men across the front for the North on defense, runners in the eye. Again, that crossing action in the backfield, nice bounce. Joe Douglas getting all the breaks here. Nice hop, and Douglas was able to maintain possession.
That's the same play they ran in the start of the series to the other side. And I think Joe Douglas made a lot of yardage on that play last fall, and he did get a good bounce off the turf, but you have to be a good athlete to pick it up on the run like that with all the commotion going on down there.
A Golden Glove Award here for Joe Douglas. Got the nice hop, picks it up, and makes it a plus. 3rd and 7 for the South on the 32-yard line of the North. North leading 6-0, 6:31 to go here in the first quarter. Rolling right, play action. Got a man there, just could not get the touch on it. And again, a timing play, and that's something you don't expect to be perfect with 9 or 10 days to work on it.
No, they had him. The receiver did have a step on the DB, but
it's the one they're worried about, Ryan Thomas. The Ashland connection, Chambers and Thomas. Here's a look at it, Coach.
Yeah, you would expect the quarterback to go to somebody he's familiar with, and just a step or two are overthrown. But, and you have to give the North credit. They did cover the fullback out in the flat that time, and that's why he had to go deep.
Well, the North certainly is not bashful about attacking the secondary of the South. We knew, or we have anticipated the South to spread out the North defense a bit, but we've seen the North do the same, and now they're going to go for the field goal. 49 yards. Did he carry? No. Longwell's attempt, no good. So with 6 minutes and 18 seconds remaining here in the first quarter at Parker Stadium in Corvallis, the North All-Stars continue to lead the South 6-0. Nice attempt, and again we might comment they are not using the kicking tees for point afters and for field goals, Coach Gary Beck, because they can't use it once they get out of high school.
Well, they don't have the tee, and they also are playing here with the college goalpost, so that's a little bit narrower than the high school field too, so it makes it a little bit tougher for the kicker.
Once again, want to remind you the proceeds for this game do benefit the Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children directly. And that help has to come directly from you. They do not charge the relatives or the parents. It all comes from donations from people like yourself. You'll see the number on the screen. We hope you take advantage and help the Shriners help crippled children. North with the ball, starting from their own 20, and a nice gain. If you can get 5 yards and first down every time, you'll take that one, Coach.
I think so. The Northfield looks like they're very comfortable and got a little confidence going now. And I think when you get a little confidence in a game like this, certainly your up-front people play a little bit more aggressively, and that could be very important.
Willie Huffman was the ball carrier. In just a moment, we'll send it down to Ed Whalen. The offset backs again. Curtis Loeb, your quarterback. The toss, Cameron Reynolds. Reynolds for the first down, taken out of bounds upfield at the 39-yard line. Let's go down to Ed Whalen.
Hi, what you're starting to see here is that the South's defensive line is getting shoved all over the place, and they just had their fannies chewed after that last touchdown. Their defensive coach told them they have to quit dancing with their opponent and lay a helmet on somebody, and so far they're still dancing, and they're not laying a helmet on anybody. And that's the story of this football game so far. You watch the guys down from them three-point stances in blue. They're getting blown back in just about every play, like right here again. Great protection.
Cameron Reynolds on first down. Challenges the perimeter, gets around the corner, crosses midfield, down inside the South territory, down to the 48-yard line. So now they're starting to attack the corners, Coach.
Well, they came out and they seal off the inside, and he makes a nice little dip in and out to get out to the perimeter. The corner kind of followed the wide receiver in and gave him a lot of running room to the outside. In the previous play, they did the same thing. They did a good job of sealing the contained man and got outside.
14-yard gain. There you see the statistics. 3 carries, 31 yards for Cameron Reynolds. Lone setback behind Loeb. Loeb, quick drop, now sets up to the right. Skipped the pass. Incomplete. It will be a turnover down. Second down coming up.
I think those pass plays, the linebackers are going to get more comfortable with some of the combination routes that they're running out of the trip set, and you would think as the game goes along that the South will be able to adjust that. But again, they did have people open there.
Curtis Loeb will be playing his football for Pokey Allen at Portland State University. Pokey does a great job there with a lot of local talent.
Well, it's neat to see a lot of these kids that are going to schools in state, Portland State, Oregon State, and Oregon.
Split backs, draw. Nice piece of running that time by John Duff of Pendleton. John Duff, the ball carrier, and it's tough going, but he kept the legs going, gets inside the 45 to the 44-yard line, will bring up third down. Third and about 6.
This would be a big play for the South people because they'd like to make them punt and get a little field position.
Ball carrier was Neil Fendel, not John Duff. It was Neil Fendel, the ball carrier. And we got timeout on the field, 5:10 to go in the first quarter. The score, the North All-Stars 6, the South All-Stars nothing. We'll be back with more from Parker Stadium, Corvallis in just a moment.
Is it on? Today, Wendy's is happy to announce a great low price on a new old-fashioned single combo. It's a quarter pound of fresh beef, hot off the grill, made just the way you want it. Plus, baby fries that are really big, and you get your favorite 20-ounce drink. Now, that's what I call a real meal. What's more, you save a bundle.
Try Wendy's old-fashioned single combo, just $2.99 for a limited time.
Was it something I said?
Shriners help kids.
I'm Tony Volpentest, and I was born without hands or feet. But today, thanks to Shriners Hospitals, I'm setting records in track and field.
Shriners Hospitals for crippled children help kids under 18 with big and small orthopedic problems. The medical care is some of the finest in the world, and it's absolutely without cost.
If you know somebody, Shriners Hospitals might be able to help. Call this number.
6-0 our score. We're starting to get a little sunshine, but the heat will not be as big a factor as we thought it was going to be midweek. Taking a look at total offense, Gary, the South 36 yards and the North starting to move the ball 93 yards. Total offense was still 5:10 to go in the quarter.
Well, they played the whole game on the south end of the field. That's what you want to do when you're playing a football game. Play it on their side of the turf.
Wide receivers left and right. Offset backs, low, play action. Takes it to his right, sets up, going long, got a man down there. Incomplete. Pass intended for David Douglas, who goes to Barlow. Incomplete at the 2 and out of bounds. It'll bring up. That was it. Bring up 4th down now, and the punting unit comes on the field.
Well, they make a nice play-action fake here, and I watched the receiver, David Douglas, out there, made a nice little in move to the post and cut it back out to the flag, and this will come. They'll hit this play maybe later on, but just missed. Really made a nice move to the inside.
All right, let's see what Paul Burton does now. Back at his own 43 to punt. Burton tried to get the angle, came off the side of the foot on another bobble, but once again picked up by Joe Douglas. He likes that first bounce, doesn't he, off the turf?
Well, he's an exciting player. He's going to make some things happen, and anytime you take chances, things like that can happen, but more often than not, he makes good things happen for you on the football field.
Taking a look at the man that scored the only touchdown of the game so far, Barlow's Willie Huffman. 32-yard punt, no return. It'll be 1st and 10 for the South at their 13-yard line. They'll have their sideline to their left, running room to their right. Backs in the eye. They're using the Marshfield running attack primarily. Chris Chambers, the quarterback, gives to the first man this time off the right side and across the 15-yard line. Picking bodies up out of the pile. The ball carrier for the South is Jeff Crampton.
Well, again, they're starting out to, I think, trying to establish a drive. They had a little better success last drive, and I think they just have to be patient and let the course of the game run itself out, and then I think they can establish a few things if they're just patient.
Brings up 2nd and 6 for the South, operating from their own 16-yard line. Second man through, going to try the right. Nothing for Joe Douglas. He was swarmed all over. And there is Griggs, Andre Griggs, who can roam from sideline to sideline. He did that for Jefferson as well as anybody.
That was an outstanding play. You see that counter play a lot, and he does a great job of reading the blocking up front and follows the blockers to the point of attack, and really no daylight at all there.
So the pursuit, the outside and inside linebackers on that play for the North that time, brings up 3rd and 9 with a loss of 2.5. 2 wideouts to the right, runners in the I. Dropping straight back, Chris Chambers knew where to go, and he's dropped immediately.
Had a player open, wide receiver was open down the field. South having trouble with that pass rush. Maybe the combination of the running backs, they're not real big running backs back there, have a little trouble protecting the passer on that play.
Andre Griggs, the man who nailed him, 6'3", 205 pounds, and now Longwell will be kicking from his own end zone.
He had 6'3", 205 against about 5'9", 170 in that matchup. That's not fair.
Low kick, the kind you think would be set up for a run back. Let's find out. Here goes Cameron Reynolds. What I like about Cameron Reynolds, he makes his moves, but he makes it going upfield instead of east and west.
You know, he is running north and south there and makes a nice little move and gets an extra couple yards there.
Not bad field position at all for the South. 54-yard punt and an 18-yard return. They have the ball in good position at their own 47-yard line, 1st and 10.
On those punts, they've outkicked the coverage a couple times. And again, the great field position. He's a good runner, boy. He gets upfield.
He appears to be aware of where his blocks are, too. Curtis Loeb quickly goes out on the right side in the flat. Could not get it completed. Pass intended for David Douglas. Let's go down the field now with Craig Cheatham.
All right, guys, I'm with a guy who's got cat-like quickness. He's strong. He moves that field and laid a couple of big hits out there, too. Going to Portland State, which side of the ball are you going to line up on?
Defense side, of course. Defense.
It's always a little easier hitting than getting hit, right?
Yeah, much easier and fun, too.
All right, why Portland State? Curtis Loeb talked about the quarterback coach. What are you looking forward to at PSU?
Well, I'm looking forward the great defense that they have, the great coaching staff that they have, and the great team that they have.
All right, terrific. Keep it up. Thanks a lot. All right, guys, let's go back to the booth.
A 13-yard gain by Willie Huffman and another 1st down for the North. They move it quickly down to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 North at the South 35. North leading 6-0 with 2 minutes 15 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. I'm Mike Stone along with Corvallis High School coach Gary Beck. Single back behind Loeb. Loeb wanted to roll left, could not do it. Hello, big thrill for one of the linemen, and that's Ron Asbo. Big thrill, but still a no-no, Asbo.
Well, I think he maybe made a wrong decision trying to throw the ball away there.
Probably the first one of the afternoon.
Yeah, he's done a good job. I was going to say that the North is really operating well and gets a little under duress there. Probably should just take that one down with him.
Hey, Asbo's got some hands, Coach.
He'll be lobbying to play tight end here over on the sidelines, I think, in between series.
Well, good luck. He'll have to lobby Rich Brooks down at the University of Oregon to get a tight end spot. So the illegal pass with infraction will move the ball back.
The North just appears to be really in their comfort zone right now. They are running a lot of different sets and seem to be operating quite well. That's give them a lot of credit for in 10 days they've been able to put together a good offense here and they seem to be comfortable with what they're doing.
Free safety Mark Helfrich discussing the call for the South defense. Helfrich out of Marshfield. He'll be playing his collegiate football at Southern Oregon. They lose the down and the ball is moved back to the 49-yard line. It is the 49-yard line of the South. North in possession. 2nd and 24. Or as Keith Jackson would say, 2nd and a country mile.
Well, they got a couple downs to get it. Don't have to get it all on this one play.
Loeb out on the perimeter. Throws on the run. Pass is complete. Curtis Loeb gets it out to Neil Fendel again.
North having a lot of success getting outside. give those blockers up there a lot of credit for letting them get outside. It makes it a lot easier if you can get outside that pass rush.
That may have been Jason Lawrence. I want to give credit where credit is due. Let's take a peek now. Loeb on the play. And it was.
Just ran out of real estate over there on the sideline.
So people enjoying the cooler temperatures. Actually saw jackets on here earlier this morning. Loeb in 2nd and 17, going back the other way. Ooh, Cameron Reynolds had a hand on it, but could not get the body turned around enough to come down with the ball. 4th down coming up.
Just a little misdirection pass route. They've been sprinting hard and getting probably a lot of flow from the secondary, trying to break Cameron Reynolds back across the grain. If he would have caught the ball, he might have had a little chance to get up the sideline and get a 1st down.
Let's see what Paul Burton can do with this one. Minute 13 to go here in the 1st quarter. 6-0 North on a Willie Huffman 4-yard run for a touchdown. Flag on the play. Douglas wanted to get out of the way. He wasn't the problem. It hit one of the South players. This time it hit number 27 for the South. And another flag is dropped in that area. John Duff did not see the ball. We have a flag back up field at the North 45. So we're just going to stand here and let them sort this out and tell you and I what's going on.
Well, once they saw that ball hit the cover guy, everybody started throwing flags.
That's embarrassing, but it's one of the basics. You've got to know where the ball is. And you have to have communications from your teammates, too. Got to let you know what's going on.
You got to read that receiving man, too. You don't feel that ball coming over your head. It's a tough play. He never saw the ball, but it shouldn't happen.
Just what he wants us to do, relive an embarrassing moment. John Duff right in the back of the helmet. And now nobody else knows what to do with the ball. The North didn't know whether, can we fall on it? Can we pick it up?
Well, it may be all disregarded after everything happened. Everybody's going to put their flags back, and now we're going to play when the ball was recovered, I guess.
Okay. That's all right. It's the first game for these fellows, too, and the season doesn't start for any of us for another 5 or 6 weeks, so everybody's got some rust to work out.
South would really do themselves well if they could get a good drive here at the end of the quarter and then get some momentum going for themselves.
Chris Chambers back in at quarterback. We're going to try that middle. The first hit was made for the North by number 58, Mike Nye, 6'3", 255 pounds. Also in on the stop, Brian Ludwig. Ludwig's going to be around that football almost all afternoon. He's a tremendous ball player.
Those 2 linebackers that the North have are very active and really outstanding players. It's the first time I've had to see a lot of them, and they do a great job.
After this play, we're going to go down to Craig Cheatham. He's got some people standing by. Trips left, 3 wide receivers to the left for the South on 2nd and 7. It's there this time. Chambers spots his man at the 33. Good enough for the 1st down. The pass complete to Mike Earhart. 1st down South. Let's go down to Craig Cheatham.
Guys, we're here talking to Ron Asbo, the big guy who thought he saw a little pay dirt there after that pass. What'd you see? Ever scored a touchdown in high school?
No, I haven't. I was looking forward to score a touchdown right there, but you know, there's a flag and nothing could work out. So
too busy opening up holes for other people. What are your plans for college, Ron?
Go there, get my degree, try to go pro, and get some playing time.
University of Oregon, right?
Yeah, UVA.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ron. Good luck. Let's go back to the booth.
Play action pass. Chambers in the grasp. The grasp rule only applies to the NFL, and he got the ball complete to Jeff Crampton and up near the 40-yard line. Nice little pickup.
Well, Chris Chambers looked like the guy that I saw playing in the playoffs last year in these last 2 plays. He just made a nice throw on the previous play and then eluded the rush there. And
the score, the North squad 6.
We've got timeout down on the field. It's the end of the 1st quarter. The North leading the South 6-0. We'll be back for more of the 45th Shrine Classic.
most delectable Dairy Queen treat is going on sale this Monday. Is it the famous Peanut Buster Parfait, the incomparable Banana Split, or how about the Blizzard or a Breeze frozen yogurt treat? You'll only know if you join the rush to your neighborhood Dairy Queen this coming Monday, because the greatest sale ever on a Dairy Queen treat starts Monday at participating stores throughout the better part of the world. Dairy Queen, where we treat you right.
Every year there's something very special about the Fred Meyer Challenge. This year we've moved to the spectacular new Oregon Golf Club. It's a championship caliber layout of unparalleled beauty. We have a great new course and another outstanding field. Masters champion Fred Couples, U.S. Open winner Tom Kite, the Shark himself, Greg Norman, and the guy who just flat hits it out of sight, John Daly. To hold Peter's party at the Oregon Golf Club. Now that really is a dream come true.
Score is 6-0, start of the second quarter. Let's pause for station identification.
KOIN-TV, Portland, Vancouver.
South with the ball. Changing direction, of course, and not much there for the South All-Stars. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3, 6-0 our score. North leading, just the start of the second quarter.
Ted Stark, I think, in at quarterback now for the South. And
close enough to measure.
Very gifted athlete from South Medford.
Taking a look at some statistics here in the first quarter. First downs not as significant perhaps as the total yards. Net yards, time possession pretty equal, but
well, the only thing those things don't show is that everything was played on the south end of the field almost for the entire first quarter, and that's a significant factor in the game. That's why it's 6-0.
I'm impressed. We've gone through a whole quarter and no turnovers.
No turnovers, not too many penalties either. So you know that shows good discipline on the players' part, and which we should expect with good athletes.
53-yard average for Mr. Longwell for the South in the punting. Could you use a guy that can average 53 yards at Corvallis?
You'll take it.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. Runners in the eye for the South. 3rd and inches. No problem. No problem for the South. They pick up that first down, maintain possession.
The tackle by number 41.
Ball that time handed off to David Beeson, I believe, checked in, number 34.
He got off the ball real well and got that good first down for them.
Beeson out of Mazama. Also now for the South, Ted Stark in at quarterback for the first time this afternoon. And we got some tough running down here and still going. Boy, you don't arm tackle Mark Santos from South Salem, and you don't throw him into the bench when he's 6 yards out of bounds. You're going to get the penalty flag, and the North did. Some frustration shown by the North, and not a real smart move. That's some great running by Santos.
Well, that's the Santos I remember. We held him to 189 yards last fall in a game up in North Salem, and you just don't tackle him above the waist. He's very built low to the ground. You can see the guys hitting him up there in the shoulder pads, and great leg drive, and just a great individual effort, and then probably a little frustration at the end of the play with all the missed tackles there, and just a great individual effort by Mark.
Suntory Robertson gave him a little spin out of bounds. 20-yard gain. Let's go down to the sideline right now.
Joe Douglas, that'll fire him up, won't it?
Yeah, sure will. That was a great run. He's so strong.
Yeah, you leaped off this like you shot out of a cannon. You know, it's a simple game. If your big guys win, you win. Your big guys are starting to block their big guys better, and you're moving it down the field.
Oh, sure. I don't know, but yeah, our big guys are doing a good job right now. It's just a matter, you know, getting everybody going. I think we just came out pretty slow today.
Yeah, Fairbanks, the linebacker, he sucked it up. Defense sucked it up. Doing all right.
Yeah, I think so.
Another big play. Let's go back upstairs.
Once again, it's Mark Santos, a low center of gravity, and boy, you had better wrap up on this kid, or his leg strength, he'll blow right through your arms.
Well, he's got his confidence now. On that one kickoff return, a little hesitant, but that last run, you can certainly see with running a lot more confidence up inside there, and that's going to be a great addition for the South offense.
And a good addition for Pokey Allen of Portland State. Runners in the eye. It is 1st and goal for the South. Look at that surge. They just blew the defensive line for the North back in the end zone, we think. Is anybody going to signal? Have you seen a signal yet?
It's a touchdown.
It's 6. That's 6. That was outstanding by the interior offensive line for the South.
Well, I tell you, Ed was talking about offensive line play in favor of the North, but boy, there's some great line surge. It got the whole offensive line down in the end zone, 8 yards down the field. That's a great effort.
David Beeson taking advantage of his moments. Beeson, a hard runner out of Mazama. And it's all tied at 6. Longwood now will try to give the South the lead with a point after. No good. We're tied at 6.
And those narrow goalposts are kind of causing a problem. It's something that takes a little while getting used to.
And I believe it's Ed. Ed, have you got Mark Santos with you?
Okay, all right. Mr. Santos, this man was mad. He was mad 15 minutes before the game started. I was watching. He just they called it hammer time. You put the hammer down, huh?
Yeah, all week long, those guys were talking down to us and all kinds of garbage like that. And we just said we're going to come out with class and run the ball hard.
Boy, this one on the bench, boy, that got them fired up when they shoved you out of bounds, didn't it?
Yeah, they're cheap shots. They already told me that they were going to try to hurt me, so I was just ready for it. And they just got to play that way. They got to play that way.
Yeah, that's 6-6. That's all that counts. What are you going to do for college now?
I plan to go to Portland State and play football.
Yeah. That's another Polkey boy. Oh, Polkey's recruiting everybody, Gary Beck. I know you're glad to see this young man out of high school talking to Coach Gary Beck up in the booth. He's happy for you, but he's glad to see you go.
I'm happy too. I just want to win this game.
I know you do, man. Thanks for talking to us. Okay, back upstairs.
No, you're right, Ed. 3 years of him is enough. I think we wish him well at Portland State, but we're glad he's not going to be around here on Friday nights.
I don't think he's one of the players on the South I'd want to make mad.
No, I don't think so. Between him and Joe Douglas, you want to keep them comfortable.
Ball kicked off. North receives. The up man picks it up at the 14-yard line with the ball. It is Thomas James, speedster out of Madison. He takes it up, a nice run back, gets it up to the 40-yard line. That's where the North will operate. 1st and 10 with 13 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Second quarter, game tied at 6. The kickoff 50 yards and a 24-yard return for Thomas James. That scoring drive, 81 yards, 8 plays, 2 minutes, 17 seconds. The time of possession on that drive. And Beeson, who just started to play in the second quarter, had a couple of nice runs, including the 12-yard TD. Quick toss. They want to get Reynolds outside. They succeed, and a lot of it is by once Reynolds turns the corner, you're in trouble if you got to take him one-on-one.
Well, they had success with that running there in the first quarter on that sweep play, and they come back to something that was good, and if they don't get some people out there, they're going to keep running that play, I'm sure.
A good afternoon already for Cameron Reynolds. As you saw, 49 yards on 4 carries. And we're getting a little better of an offensive show than I think we anticipated. The ball has been moving up and down the field. This has turned out to be a very good opening half. Lone setback, rolling left now. In at quarterback is Lewis out of Jesuit, and that pass is incomplete. In at quarterback, Yellow Lewis, played at Jesuit. He's in at quarterback first time here this afternoon. Now that gives you a little different look as far as the defense, right?
Should put a little bit more pressure on the perimeter out there, but you can't take anything away from Loeb. He was doing a fine job getting out there, but you got a good athlete here in Lewis too.
Greg Cheatham wants to talk a little bit of defense.
Hey guys, the defense for the North is already back to the drawing board. They just picked it up, and now they're getting ready to go back on the field. Very concerned about Mark Santos and the way that he was able to just basically knife right through the defense. In fact, he plowed over several of the defenders. They're concerned about the misdirection play with Santos. It'll be interesting to see how the North rises to the occasion on the next exchange. Let's go back to the booth.
Diallo Lewis, well, that's the one dimension he adds. That's the unknown. Is he going to run the play, or is he going to go on his own?
That's the broken play, and good athletes make good things happen out of some dire situations there. And it wasn't drawn up that way, but it's certainly you take the results.
You bet he would. Third down, 3rd and 2. 7-yard gain on the play. Diallo Lewis out of Jesuit High School. Curtis Loeb went the first quarter. Lewis starts the second. Runners in the eye behind Lewis. Wide receiver left and right. Game tied at 6. And Hands off to the first man through. That is number 32, Willie Huffman, who scored the only touchdown for the North so far. And I don't think he made it.
He's going to be about a half-yard short.
In on the stop for the South. Alex Dunn, number 79, in on the hit. You see the time, you see the score. Both teams failed on point afters. Timeout has been called by the South. The South All-Stars have called timeout with 11 minutes 42 seconds to go here in the first half of play. And action indeed will be continuing. Our score, North 6, the South 6. The sun coming out, and it's very nice here at Parker Stadium for the 45th annual Shrine Bowl. We'll be right back with more of it.
You know, there's real magic in Diet Pepsi. It's got that special aha ingredient. Okay, girls, now what's that magic ingredient?
The Al Cater and Hilla Shriners wish to thank the following corporate organizations and sponsors who have donated funds and services in support of the 45th Annual Shrine Bowl of Oregon. They also wish to thank these player backers who have donated money for support of the players at the Shrine Bowl of Oregon.
Back at Parker Stadium in Corvallis, I'm Mike Stone, along with Corvallis High School head coach Gary Beck, providing the expert commentary here for us this afternoon. Ball just inside the 35 at the 34-yard line of the South. North with Diallo Lewis out of Jesuit in at quarterback. And enough for the first down. He only needed a little less than half a yard, and he gives the ball to Willie Huffman. Huffman for the first down, and we've got a player down for the South. They'll go out and take a look. Somebody down for the South could have the wind knocked out of him.
Good safe play to run, get the first down. Good forward lean by the running back Huffman.
You got a game all tied at 6, Coach, and you have been moving the ball. We've seen some big plays, the ball move up and down the field, but this has to be disheartening to a coach. Neither team has been able to convert yet on a third down. We're going to take a look at this play again. Here's Willie Huffman. Ball carry out of Barlow. And I don't know if we can see the man going down or not. Down on the pile and in on the tackle was Seth Michael for the South.
Yeah, what can happen on a short yardage play like that, you've got some guys just firing out low and trying to get them off the ball real quick, and somebody might have caught the back of the leg or something like that in that situation.
Ed Whalen. Let's go downstairs to the Big Daddy. What do you got, Ed?
Hi, Coach Gary Beck. I would imagine that this is the most important drive of the game for both sides. You had the South just come down and scored, get the momentum back, and now you got the North running the ball down the South's throat, and there's some importance to both sides to show that they can, number one, continue the momentum, and number two, stop it.
Well, I think it is. They're answering the call there. They're responding well to it. Anytime the other team scores, you want to come back and make good things happen for yourself, and the North is doing that right now. Got a good kickoff return to start things off, got out to the 40 and are continuing from there.
Jeff Zellick, the player that fortunately walked off for the South. He's going to be all right. Cameron Reynolds, a little dancing, but nowhere to go.
Well, it's 4-down area down there inside the 30, and so you maybe can take a gamble and try to take advantage of them overreacting on that sweep. They've had some success with that sweep play, so maybe you're thinking that they're going to come up a little quicker, but good discipline by the South defensive backs.
Brings up 2nd and 15, and John Simmons, our stat man extraordinaire, just pointed out that's the first rushing loss of the afternoon for the North.
Well, it's not truly a rushing play maybe, but I guess it'll go in the books that way.
Once again, it's Diallo Lewis, the quarterback for the North. They're trying to break the 6-6 tie. Goes on the toss. Now it's a reverse to Robertson. They worked on it in practice Wednesday. Centauri Robertson looking for room. They contained that. He picked up 6-7 yards. It could have been worse.
Well, they've kind of ran a couple of trick plays here the last 2 times. They were having a lot of success with what they were doing. Good job by Ryan Thomas back there staying at home. He kind of held things up for the pursuit to come back and make the play.
Initially, the toss to Cameron Reynolds. He hands off to Centauri Robertson. Now let's see if what you're talking about staying at home. We're going to see him come into the picture right now.
Yeah, that's a big play. Even though he doesn't make the tackle, he's there, and it allows the other people to get back into play. I'm sure he was kind of excited when he saw that guy coming around back at him, that open field.
3rd and 7. Lewis wants to pass, but he's going to run it, and he's knocked out of bounds just shy of that first down yard marker.
I think we had a little clip there over right by the ball carrier.
Flag down around the 24-yard line. The preliminary signal that it will be clipping. Indeed it is, Gary. And that's a shame for the North because that backs them out of the field goal range for now anyway, if that were a consideration.
Well, they could have had a chance to get a first down there, but yeah, this is going to make it a little tougher field position-wise for them.
The rushing game for the North working very well. Huffman, 7 carries, 27 yards. Reynolds, 4 carries, 49 yards.
That's the only thing I wondered about when they went to those 2 trick plays. They'd had a lot of success running the ball. Sometimes if they just would have stayed patient with that, they might have got themselves back in the end zone again.
Now, they got all excited at practice when they ran that reverse to Centauri Robertson, so maybe there's some lobbying going on by Centauri.
That's a good point. I think you practice those plays, and they're kind of exciting. A game like this, I think you certainly want to put those into the action and get some excitement out there.
Jerry Williams, the head coach at Barlow and the head coach of the North, you saw leaning out, shouting instructions in a play, I'm sure, to quarterback Diallo Lewis. North in possession, 3rd and 20. Game tied at 6. They're at their own 40. Goes to the right. Lewis passes it this time, and his man was there. He could not hang on. That was a good job by Diallo Lewis. Rolled away from the pressure. Pass intended for B.J. Basinski. He could not hang on. Incomplete will bring up 4th and 20.
Well, that was certainly a good call. They knew something there because they had the tight end open right from the snap. He came all the way across the field and was open really right now and just a little bit on the fingertips there. But you can see there's nobody around him as a defender. That would have been a first down, I think, if he would have caught that.
So back to punt now will be Paul Burton for the North. Joe Douglas back for the South, signaling for the fair catch. Got away from the ball. It bounds up to about the 15 to 16 yard line, and that is where the South will have to take over. 1st and 10 with 9:37 to go in this first half. A 24-yard punt. Game tied at 6. 2 touchdowns, 2 failed point after kicks. Once again, you are having the opportunity to call the 1-800-221-5970. That is the number where you can participate in helping the Shriners continue their efforts through the Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children. The net proceeds from this game go directly to the Shriners Hospital for Kids. Help them out, will you please? 1st and 10 for the South at their own 15-yard line. Once again, handoff goes inside, and they're using Beeson, David Beeson.
I like the way he comes off the ball. You can tell he's excited. He kind of sat over on the sidelines for the first quarter, and he's getting his chance to play, and he's come off the ball in that touchdown run. He really accelerated off the snap and was not afraid to run it up in there.
Stark still in a quarterback. Ted Stark, the quarterback, all this quarter for the South. Runners in the eye. He did a very odd split on the left side of that interior line. Or was that intentional, or was that just a bad split?
Yeah, I think they're trying to, if their plays running away from them, they're trying to maybe create a little bit more running lanes for them. And sometimes you can vary the splits a little bit to gain an advantage.
Mark Santos, the ball carrier, just looked like it was an unusually large split now.
Just trying to create a little bigger running lane for him, possibly, or a little better blocking angle.
Brings up 3rd and 7 for the South. You dare get too cute down here in 3rd and 7? I don't think so. Do you, Coach?
No, I think they got to play something that's a good safe play there. Take misdirection.
Oh my, Ludwig right there to pick it off. What appeared to be a very short pass route. He had the man there, Coach. But a very poor decision. He was going out of bounds. He tried to throw across his body, and boy, there aren't too many guys like Joe Montana that can do that.
Well, that's exactly right. Just kind of tried to force one a little bit too late. He did have a man open in that in the second area there, behind the fullback there, and you're right about throwing across the body. It's not as easy to do.
Well, here you see Stark on the roll, Coach, and Brian Ludwig just standing there minding his own business, and he got a gift.
He just needed to put the ball over Ludwig's head, and he would have had an easy first down.
Not an easy play under the best of circumstances, so now first and goal for the North from the 6.5. They're going to try the middle and the south. Greedy. Maybe a yard at the most to bring up second down.
I think you got some good initial charge there from Alex Dunn, I believe. Kind of made the first contact there. It'll be interesting to see how the South responds to this. This is, when you have a little adversity, you need to respond in a positive way. They can hold them to a field goal there. I think that they certainly could pat themselves on the back here.
Second and goal for the North at the 5-yard line. Lewis, we got a broken play there, I think.
Well, the fullback would have scored if he would have had the ball. Well, he ran all the way into the end zone.
We got a fullback and a linebacker with Craig Cheatham right now.
It's a tough combination when you got a linebacker who actually is a fullback and runs like it once he intercepts the ball, and that's Brian Ludwig. Brian, looking pretty good out there. What kind of pressure are you guys trying to apply to the South offense right now?
We're just watching the pass, and I was watching the running back come out of the backfield. Just stepped right in front of him. Couldn't do it without nine. Couldn't do it without nine.
Got a tough linebacking core. What are you looking forward to in college?
Just looking forward to the chance to play, you know. I'll be redshirt probably next year and give it a shot. So I don't know, see what happens.
Where are you going?
Oregon State.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right. Thanks a lot, Brian. Let's go back to the booth.
Diallo Lewis. It's just a simple foot race heading for the corner. I thought for a moment he was going to get cute on us and dance, but he finally just...
Well, he just outran the defense there. They get a block on the contained man. It gets a little... It's tough on that DB. He's got to play the receiver, and that option of running or throwing the ball really makes it tough, and he's just too quick for him to get to the corner of the end zone there. Good effort by Lewis.
So, like they started the first quarter, the North gets the first points here in the second quarter. They're going to go for two, 12-6 our score. North leading. They're going to go for the two-point conversion. Once they get everybody in the right position, back split behind Diallo Lewis, the quarterback. Sets up, looks like he wanted to go right, scrambling now, has got a man there, ball batted around, incomplete. A couple tough breaks for Lewis. He's had some receivers with hands on the ball. That will do it for their attempt for the two-point conversion. So not a PAT or a point after of any kind has been made here this afternoon. Our score was 6:22 to go in the first half. The North All-Stars 12, the South All-Stars 6 in the 45th Annual Shrine Bowl from Parker Stadium in Corvallis. More football right after this.
Pivot Power by Tenel 360.
It's a fact. Conventional cleats often lock into the turf. Only Tenel's patented 360 concept gives you pivot power, the performance edge, the best your game can be.
I tried out the Tenels, and they have the grip, they have the bite that I need, the support where you can twist and your shoe won't get caught in the turf.
Tenel 360 is available at all Anderson Sporting Goods and Jake's Athletic Shop in Corvallis.
My favorite activity is probably cheerleading. I love to cheer.
Shriners help kids. Kids like Beth Cole. Thanks to Shriners Hospitals for Crippled Children, Beth participates in high school sports with the aid of 2 artificial feet. Shriners help thousands of kids under 18 like Beth with big and small problems. The care is some of the finest in the world, and there's never a charge. For more information, call Shriners Hospitals.
Brian Longwell kicking off. Correction, that's Paul Burton. Got it turned around. Burton kicking off for the North. Joe Douglas back deep at the 5 for the South. 12-6 our score. North leading in the 45th Annual Shrine Bowl. Second quarter. They'll bring it out to the 20. The South will start this drive at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Interesting scoring series. 7 yards in 3 plays, took 79 seconds.
Well, you like those 7-yard drives. You like to have an opportunity to do those things. Not eating up a lot of clock, but certainly efficient getting it in there.
Coach Weber from Lake Oswego discussing things with Williams, the head coach of Barlow. And right now he's talking to Willie Huffman, who was his starting fullback. And a very successful year, first year for Jerry Williams at Barlow.
Number 12 is Ted Stark.
A wind-aided kick. Thank you, John. 65-yard wind-aided kick. Great. Let's go to John Tesh for an interview.
Stark is tackled by number 34.
Well, good job of defense here by the North. They get out there the first time they've seen the speed option play, and they had it covered pretty well.
Travis Taylor in on the play. Travis Taylor for the North All-Stars. It's going to bring up 2nd and 12 now for the South. Ball at their own 18-yard line.
I think the South trying to utilize Ted Stark's athletic ability. He's a big kid and trying to get him outside and run a little bit.
Statistician telling us it's a wind-aided kick. Olympics on the brain. Here he is, Santos. And just when it looked like he was going to make something out of nothing, it turns back to nothing again.
Well, the initial tackler got there and held on long enough for his buddies to get there. You have to do that. You can certainly see that the defense of the North is more aware of Santos' ability. They're going to fly and get there as many people as they can. They broke a couple and just held him up long enough to get the pursuit there.
Ted Stark will be an interesting one to follow at the University of Washington. They've got a lot of young quarterbacks up there, and I know he really wants to play quarterback for the Dogs.
Well, he's going to have to wait his turn for a while, but he certainly looks like he has some great athletic ability, and it'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
And he directs traffic pretty good. Tate Wunderstrom was wondering which side he was supposed to be on. And while there's confusion, they wisely call a timeout to discuss it. A timeout called by the South. We have 4 minutes and 54 seconds to go here in the first half. And let's go down the sidelines with Craig Cheatham.
Okay, guys, I'm down here with Diallo Lewis from Jesuit High, defensive back, quarterback extraordinaire on his way to Portland State. Played defensive back in the first quarter, quarterback in the second. If you had a choice, which side of the ball would you line up on?
It really doesn't matter. I like to just help the team win. Offense, I like being on offense. I like to play quarterback. You get a lot more control that way. But defense is fun also. I'm just waiting for an interception or something.
One of the things you pointed out to me is you're very mobile on offense, and that sometimes you feel like people tend to not take your passing as seriously. Does that frustrate you?
Sometimes it helps me a lot. It helps me to work harder and everything, because a lot of people doubt me and don't think I can really get it done.
Well, you're doing quite a bit out there today. Diallo Lewis, one of the key players in this ball game. Let's go back to the booth.
All right, 12-6 our score. North leading. There have been 3 touchdowns in this game, but there has not been any points after. Run or kick. We've had 2 failed kicks and 1 failed 2-point attempt. South with the ball. They spot it at about the 17-yard line. 3rd and 13. Stark's the quarterback. Got some pressure now. He needs some help. He found some help. They got some running room. He gets the ball back up to David Beeson. Beeson with a flag down at the 32, knocked out of bounds by the Norse, Neil Fendel. Let's see what the flag is about, Gary.
Well, you have to suspect some type of clip probably out there in the open field when a play breaks down like that. Boy, great effort of throwing back against the grain. Probably not always advised in that situation, but he did have a guy wide open. And well, I really like this Beeson. He really takes off and gets some things done.
He's got one direction. That's north and south. He doesn't believe in a lot of dancing.
Oh, ineligible man downfield.
Well, that could be expected, too, on a broken play like that. Here we get a chance to see Beeson put the ball away, huh?
Yeah. Well, he's excited. He's out there in the open field, and that's a good feeling.
You can't knock the results. However, ineligible man downfield, so that's going to take the ball back for the South. The officials now discussing where to spot the ball exactly.
You wonder if he caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage or not. If he did, those linemen could be downfield. I don't know if anybody's asking that.
That's a good question. I was busy watching the quarterback to see where he was going to let go of the ball or not. I really didn't pay attention to whether or not Beeson was over the line of scrimmage. Discussion continues among the officials, and I would imagine that's exactly what they're talking about, trying to get a consensus opinion of where the receiver indeed was when he first caught the ball.
Looks like it might be going that way.
Hi to you. It's people enjoying the sunshine. And now the heat, it gives you a good example, a good picture, and you know what it's like. You've played an artificial surface, and you play here, and it is not as hot as it was midweek, but you can see what that surface does. It picks it up and kicks it back in your face. What, 10, 12 degrees hotter?
I think so. It's significant enough. We're fortunate we have a little breeze to cool things off here.
12-6 our score, 4:41 to go. Second quarter, North leading South with the ball. 3rd and 13. Starts. Ball batted in the air. Ooh, inviting, but nobody for the North could get to it. Incomplete to bring up 2nd and 10.
I think we're seeing a little bit for the quarterbacks here, just like I think Chris Chambers early in the first quarter had some problems getting comfortable, and then at the end of the quarter started looking pretty good. And I think Ted's probably going through that same thing. It's they're not used to coming off in the second quarter, and you know, when you're a little bit uneasy, those things, you throw a little high, and those things happen.
An almoster for number 41, Jim Rufner. There's that cross play again. Santos lost the ball, but he got help from a teammate, one of the interior linemen, I believe, following up. And coming downfield, the block downfield. Fell on that football. Indeed, it was number 74, John Petsu. And John Petsu actually picked up a couple of yards in the fumble recovery.
A little cross-down help there from South Salem helping out North Salem. And Mark certainly is running up in there tough and really looks good. Makes a good cut up in there because that's the way you need to run that play. Run up inside of that kick-out block.
3rd and 5. 3rd and a short 5. So short, they're calling it 3. They had some movement in the line. The defense of the North detected it. They came across to initiate contact. It'll be procedure against the South.
Well, there's one of the unique things about the Shrine game. You get players that are willing to play different positions, and that was Pat Hempel, I think, from West Albany, who's an outside linebacker, running back, is playing center today, and helping the team out. I think that's a great thing that happens, and you really have to admire and be willing to do that. And maybe had a little problem there with the cadence in that position.
Obviously not one of the many positions he has played during the course of the year.
Well, you see that go the other way. The center wanting to be the running back, but not the running back wanting to be the center.
Starks did not see the pursuit coming, and he was brought down by Pete Fisher. Good job by Pete Fisher, the blind side. Fisher out of Lake Oswego. He'll be playing in McMinnville at Linfield College.
Well, he's run free the last couple of times in there from the backside. Didn't get to it the previous play, but this time...
Oh, my, untouched.
It's probably a good feeling in it right there.
Mark Santos wondering where he was. Pete Fisher going to Linfield College. Back to punt. Longwood for the South. Not a lot of hang time on it. Cameron Reynolds needs a block, gets one up to the 35, and could not quite break the tackle of number 48, Greg Doden. But a nice run back again by Cameron Reynolds. Takes it up to the 41, and the North will start their offense on their own 41-yard line. 41-yard punt, 16-yard return.
Right, standing operating procedure for the North. Start their drive outside their own 40. They have had great field position all night, and Cameron Reynolds really showing some good skills here. Really impressed with his abilities.
Seems to be making good decisions when after he gets that ball.
Good decisions on the run.
Split backs now. Lewis, the quarterback again. Fakes the handoff. Out of the backfield, has a man open, hits him at the 45 up to the 47-yard line on that completion.
Good slow play action play.
Willie Huffman.
Slow action play fake there to kind of hold those linebackers in and let that back sift through into the backfield there.
If you were planning to sit at home, you watch a lot of high school football and figure out what team they're on by their decals, don't do it. They've been switching all week. Once again, Huffman across the 50 inside the South Territory down to the 48-yard line. Let's go down the sidelines now with Craig Cheatham.
Okay, guys, I'm standing with Pete Fisher from Lake Oswego, who's headed to Linfield College. Pete, looking pretty quick in there. What does a player of your size do to try and outsmart these big guys?
I don't know, lift weights, run, take on big guys like Willie Huffman in practice. He's been knocking me around all week.
I think we're going to kick him over here, yeah, shape him up a little bit.
He's been beating me up, too.
So what are you looking forward to in college?
I don't know, playing defense and winning. Linfield's got a great program, so we should be winning a lot of football games down there.
Good luck to you, Pete. Thanks for joining us. Let's go back to the booth.
Once again, the running game has the North on the move, Gary. The toss that time to Cameron Reynolds, and Reynolds gets it inside the 40, down near the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for the North.
Well, you really like his willingness to cut up field and get some positive yardage there. He's not running to the sidelines. He's getting things turned up, and you find out if you got a true tailback if they're willing to do that.
Waiting for the stakes to be set across field. Now the clock starts. 12-6 our score. North leading 1 minute 44 seconds to go in the half. The toss. Cameron Reynolds attack the outside attack. He does. And just tripped up. We've got a flag at the 35-yard line. A flag. More of a tackle than a block going on out there, I'm afraid, for the North.
Well, they do a great job. The tight end does a great job of sealing the contained man, but he must have been holding on to him a little bit.
And Ed Whalen, the Big Daddy's got a report from the sideline.
Yeah, we're always going to talk. We're always going to talk to the big men because I think that's where the game is determined. Jeff Upward from LeGrand. Did you expect for their defensive linemen to be as good as they are, present as many difficulties as they do for you guys?
Well, yeah, they're pretty big guys, but they're still real quick, We're having a little bit of trouble right now, but I'm sure we'll get that ironed out by halftime. We'll be all right.
Yeah, the thing is, you're only down 6, a tee and a point, and you can take the halftime lead.
Yeah, well, we will. We will.
You will, You tell everybody that in LeGrand, okay?
You bet, yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Despite the dominance of I think the North's big men, it's still just a 6-point game, so we'll see.
Illegal holding the call. That put them back into close to their own territory. They tried Willie Huffman on
little quick
first
trap
down.
Play. Little quick trap play. They probably feel like they got 4 downs to make a first down and then get good 5 yards. And now at 2nd and 15 gives them a shot at it.
12-6 the score. North leading. Time running down here in the first half. Good play action on the boot. Bootleg action. The pass is caught. Caught at the 7-yard line. Diallo Lewis. Play action off the bootleg. And the pass is complete. Down to Phil Freeman. 1st and goal.
Real good play action. Real patient here, setting it up, selling the run fake, and then you got the defensive back scrambling out there. That's going to be a tough play to defend.
Great catch here by Freeman. 33-yard pass play.
Good job of making sure of the catch there. You're down inside the 10. If you just catch the ball, you got first down. You're going to set up another touchdown here. And give Lewis credit for making a nice throw. He has the guy open and throws the ball down there where it's catchable. But you can see the DBs are in trouble down there. They go for the run fake and it puts them out of position. You got to recover. And if the offense, the receiver's already running his route, now they're playing catch up. And Lewis does a good job of not waiting too long, getting rid of the ball.
4-point GPA through high school for that young man, Phil Freeman. He's going to BYU. And I'm sure his family's as proud as that 4-point GPA as they are of his football ability.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many of these guys have 3.5 and above GPAs. Looking through the program, they're good players on the field, but you just don't turn it on once you get on the field. They're doing some right things off the field also.
When the clock starts, timeout was called, and the clock starts, we'll have 43 seconds remaining here in the first half. 12-6 the score, the North leading. They took the early lead on a Willie Huffman 4-yard touchdown run, missed the point after. South responded, game tied at 6. North in the second quarter put the only points on the board so far, missed a 2-point conversion attempt. Here's the pitch to the outside. They're trying to race the South to the corner again. This time it does not work for Cameron Reynolds. Excellent pursuit that time by the South defense.
A little tougher to get outside down here on goal line. The DBs are up a little closer and really thinking more run. Did a good job of keeping them in bounds, making use up their timeout if they.
They're going to take another timeout. The North is trying to milk the final seconds here of the first half. They stop the clock with 23 seconds remaining. They'll have the ball 2nd and goal from the 5.
Good choice of plays, though. I think they've had such good success with Reynolds running outside. It just got a little tougher down there, and maybe the South's getting a little bit used to it. But again, I think down there inside the 10, they're more willing to come up and support on the run from the secondary.
You're going to be quizzed now, Gary. What year was the worst beating in Shrine Bowl history?
Fans, we invite you to stand
I'll save it because there are people at home that are this big stuff.
Well, I know one year I was coaching it might have been close.
No, that wasn't it. We won't make you wait too long, but it was not the year you were coaching because you're too young. All right, compare your answer. Whoa, 1954. 50-9. They don't allow that to happen anymore with that 20-point rule. They keep it a little more competitive. Was that what you were thinking, was 1954? Was that?
No, not really. That was before my time, so I didn't know about that.
Goal to go at the 5.
I wish it was before mine. 2nd and 5 for the North. 2nd and goal from the 5. A lot of finger pointing. Man went in motion, and jumping across for the South was Alex Dunn. However,
the right tackle, I think, down there jumped a little bit. When the motion went in place, he kind of moved a little bit. Once they get that hand there set on the ground, they got to stay still on it.
Ron Asbo, I believe, got moving. He got confused.
Really critical down inside the 10 and not try to do anything more than, you get excited about getting in the end zone. You still have to have good patience and good poise and not allow those things to happen.
5 penalties now, 50 yards in penalties in the first half alone for the North. Most of them coming here in the second quarter. Back split behind Diallo Lewis. 23 seconds to go in the half, 12-6 the score. North leading, threatening, but they're back at their 11 and they're going backwards on this drive. Lewis going to try and race to the corner, makes a cut inside, just right. Touchdown for the North, Diallo Lewis.
Does a good job of getting outside again. He's really tough to contain. South defense is going to have to come up with an answer for that because he's just a bundle of load out there out in the open field.
It changed completely the whole defensive posture for the South once he entered the game, didn't it?
Well,
compared to Curtis Loeb. And Loeb is not slow. He gets to the outside for passing very quickly, but it really puts a lot of heat on him.
I thought Loeb was doing a great job, and Lewis is coming and added to that.
Boy, he's having a problem, and again, he's not happy. I don't think Paul is accustomed yet to kicking off the artificial surface. We have not had a successful point after in this game yet this afternoon. We've had a total of 4 touchdowns scored, 3 missed kicks, and a failed 2-point attempt.
He does a good job. He's got people occupied downfield, makes a nice cut into the end zone there. I think if he would have ran to the sideline, they would have knocked him out of bounds, but he makes a nice quick dart for the goal line and gets it across the goal line. It's a good deal. He made a nice play.
Well, with 16 seconds left in the first half, 18-6 the score now, North leading. They drove the ball 60 yards in 6 plays and took 2 minutes and 46 seconds. I believe all of their drives have been under 3 minutes, haven't they, John? Thank you. I like it when John agrees with me. It makes me look smart. John Simmons, the statistician. I'm Mike Stone, along with Gary Beck. Gary Beck, the head coach at Corvallis High School, and he had a opportunity to speak to some youth football coaches today, and something new with this Shrine Classic. They put a coaching clinic in conjunction with it. How'd that go?
Well, I think it's a great idea. The Oregon High School Coaches Association have had a couple days of clinic time here and really did a nice job and had some good speakers in from Oregon and Oregon State, and also flew in Earl Bruce from Colorado State. And so it's been a good thing in conjunction with this game, and hopefully it'll continue to happen. And I think that those type of things will make this event even better.
Through the ripples of the heat, Paul Burton kicks off for the North, and there'll be no run back on this, and no time off the clock either.
Well, the coverage team really enjoys those kicks in the end zone, so that's his 2nd in a row now. You know, he's had a little trouble with the extra points, but he sure appears to me like he's a great athlete. I noticed he's a baseball player, also a top baseball prospect, and I'm sure he'll iron out those things down at the University of Oregon.
I asked his dad Wednesday as we were watching him kicking off the surface, 18-6 our score North, and he was having problems on the field goals and the point afters, and his dad kind of grinned. He said, it's been a busy year for baseball.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so he just started kicking, I think, when he got here at camp. Starks, the quarterback. Conservative call with just 16 seconds left, and again, no need to panic with 18-6 the score.
There's plenty of time in the second half to come back and try to do something fancy and turn the ball over. It certainly hurt you here right before half.
That's the end of the first half of the first ever Shrine Classic being played out of Portland here in Corvallis at Parker Stadium. The score, the North All-Stars 18, the South All-Stars 6. Let's go down now with Ed Whalen.
Coach, I think you haven't made except on the corners, and I think you had that made until Lewis came in the game.
Well, that's right. We knew going into this ball game they had some very good athletes with some good speed, and I think the difference in the ball game so far has been their speed, and we haven't been able to match it so far. We're going to have to make some adjustments and do a better job containing their quarterbacks.
Yeah, speed is hard to defend. What can you do when he takes lights out like that around the corners?
Well, we've got to widen some people a little bit. We've got our contained person is just taking a little too shallow of a rush. He's not used to that kind of speed and quickness. Normally that angle would get the job done, but when you got a guy with his speed, you got to take a little bit bigger angle, and those are some adjustments that you have to make at halftime.
Yeah, 12 points. The extra points are playing a big deal. You're not that bad off.
No, I think we're still in the ball game. We got to do a good job at halftime, make some adjustments. We've made some mental mistakes, as you would expect in this time of ball game, but we made some good plays and did some good things too. So we got to keep our heads up and be on a positive note and get after the second half.
Okay, Coach. Thanks for talking to us. Go in there and get some emotion out of those guys too. Yeah, I think emotions plays a lot part. Neither team is real emotional, not like you would expect for high school kids. But we'll see what they say in the second half. Back upstairs.
Thank you, Ed. 18-6 our score. North leading. Halftime. More halftime activities continue from Parker Stadium in just a moment.
That's it, I think.
You know, a lot of men want to know more about Rogaine with minoxidil. If you're one of them, I have good news for you. Now there's a video prepared especially for men who want answers to their questions about Rogaine. Simply call 1-800-284-5908. And Upjohn will be glad to send it to you, absolutely free. Now, once you've looked at it, you'll probably want to schedule an appointment with a doctor. After all, only your doctor can prescribe Rogaine. And if you call right now, Upjohn will also send you the names of doctors in your area who can help you decide if Rogaine is right for you. You'll also receive a $10 certificate as an incentive to see your doctor. For your free videotape that gives you the complete story on Rogaine with minoxidil and your $10 certificate, call toll-free 1-800-284-5908. So what are you waiting for? Make the call today.
When I did the Ducks, I didn't even have to look at a spotting chart for the Ducks. Today's Shrine Bowl is part of a long, outstanding tradition here in the state of Oregon. In fact, it's the 45th annual game being played in support of the Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children. This Portland hospital has been serving the children of the Northwest for decades, and they offer high-quality orthopedic care at absolutely no charge to the patient or his family. Now, because Shriner Hospital never bills a patient, an insurance company, or the government for any of its services, it relies heavily on the continued support of our community in order to keep its doors open. If you want to help make a difference for the hospital, especially for the children who rely on it, you can call the number that'll be on your screen and make a donation. Shriners Hospital patients are counting on you and I. So let's take a few moments now and learn more about the Shriners Hospital, a true Oregon treasure.
Hello? Hi, son. A concert Saturday? Yeah, Cajun stir-fried meatballs. That sounds like what I'm making for dinner. Let's eat. No thanks. I'm calling for pizza. US West really helps me make better use of my time. Now I can relax and watch the game. Hello?
Hi, honey. How's everything going?
You don't want to know.
What?
It's the fourth quarter and my team's getting blown away.
US West, making the most of your time.
Let's pause for station identification.
KOIN-TV, Portland, Vancouver.
Let's take a look now at some of the first half highlights that led to our 18-6 halftime score with the North leading. Going to have an opportunity to see a punt return now by this is Cameron Reynolds, and Reynolds kept them busy on special teams.
Boy, does a good job of getting some to the wall, and boy, gets some good blocks over there, and then some good hard running at the finish of the run, which is outstanding on his part.
The North scored first in the first quarter to take a 6-0 lead. They missed their point after, and here is Willie Huffman out of Barlow on that 4-yard plunge for the first score of the game, and it was 6-0 North at that point. South came back on the ground also. And is this Beeson's dive? It is. Beeson went in. That tied the ball game up at 6. They missed the point after. Not been a big day for PATs, Coach. Now we're going to see the South again. This is a fine play by Diallo Lewis, the quarterback for Jesuit.
Gets outside the contain, and that's been the last 2 touchdowns have just been that his athletic ability getting outside the contain, and it'll be interesting to see how the South is able to adjust to that.
2-point attempt. They tried. It failed. We have not had a PAT of any kind. Now you're going to see Diallo Lewis going the other way, again putting extreme pressure on the defense on the corners. He's going to take it in. Nice cutback.
Nice cutback. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see how the South adjusts, and then if the North has an answer to the adjustments that the South has, and then preventing from getting outside.
You can see for yourselves these statistics, and the one that doesn't show is the one you commented on during the half, and that's field possession.
Well, that punt return that Reynolds had right at the start there kind of set the tone and put them on side the 50 on their side of the field, and they really haven't recovered.
We got to go down. You know how impatient coaches get before a kickoff, and Craig Cheatham's got one of them down there now, Coach.
All right, I'm standing here with Coach Jerry Williams. And, Coach, heck of a first half. The defense looked good. Linebackers are strong, and you opened it up in the second quarter. What can we expect to see in the second half?
Well, I don't think you'll see a different ball game, really. We're trying to make sure everybody gets playing time, which is one of our goals, of course. Guys are having a good time. They're flying around, and, you know, you're going to see the same. We'll start with Curtis Loeb in the third quarter, then probably go again with Lewis in the fourth quarter.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck. All right, guys, back to the booth.
And we'll be back with the second half kickoff in just a moment.
As if drinking Pepsi wasn't rewarding enough, now they have a Gotta Have It card.
You ever had a Pepsi, Cindy?
It gets you great deals on everything from Reebok shoes to Norwegian Cruise Line.
More food, Cindy?
But what really impressed me about this card was the incredible attention and courtesy people show you.
A towel, Cindy?
Hey, Cindy, would you like to steer the ship again?
We got to get one of those cards.
If you have thinning hair, call Hair Club for Men for a free brochure and find out about Hair Club's non-surgical polyfuse method, which fuses carefully matched human hair to your own. It looks and feels natural.
I wanted something that looked very natural and also looked very natural when I was skiing and when my hair was very wet.
Your new hair can also renew confidence and self-esteem and help to bring out the best of who you are. Enjoy the worry-free active lifestyle you've always wanted.
Even when you feel around the perimeter of your head, I mean, you really cannot feel anything in your hair.
It really gave me more ways to be able to do my hair, and I could do it in more of a 90s fashion.
No matter what the sport or activity, Hair Club for Men's non-surgical process will allow you to feel secure about your new hair. Call for our free brochure to see our various hairstyles and receive information about your hair loss alternatives.
And by the way,
I'm not only the Heckler president, but I'm also a client.
The Oregon Shrine Bowl is presented by Buick dealers in Oregon and Southwest Washington, Chanel 360 Shoes, and the Pepsi Bottling Company. They wish to remind you that all net proceeds from today's game goes to the Shriners Hospitals for Crippled Children.
18-6 the score. North, we're ready for the second half kickoff, and this could be fun to watch. We have Thomas James and Suntory Robertson both back deep to receive the kick for the North. Two of the faster players in the state and certainly in the PIL this last season. And they're not even going to fool with either one of those guys, Gary. They're going to kick it to one of the up men. They get the ball to Jim Rufner. Rufner does a fine job, gets it back up close to the 35-yard line. First and 10 now for the North. They lead at 18-6, and Curtis Loeb will start the second half at quarterback for the North.
Well, it's a good decision to kick it short into the wind and not let those two quick guys get down there and have a chance to return. Although, again, they still get good field position. They're on the 35. You'd have to be happy that with the North coaches, I'm sure.
52 yards on the kick to return to 22. Loeb, the quarterback, out of Gresham. He started and played the entire first quarter. Now they have a Pier 4-4 out there, don't they?
Yep.
Pass incomplete. Loeb's pass intended for B.J. Pasinski. You were talking about it during halftime, and basically they just pulled that one extra body off the line of scrimmage and went a 44. Some call it an 80, I guess.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit of chance to play to the outside, I think, and that's the thing that hurt them the most, I think, in the first half. And you know, good coaches are going to make adjustments at halftime, and I think that's what they've done on the South team.
North with the ball, second down, 10 yards to go for the first. North operating at their own 35. Second half just underway, third quarter. Now we got a stunt coming from the backer, but he got rid of the ball in time. Loeb complete to Basinski up at the 40-yard line. He's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, nice job by Curtis Loeb coming back to Basinski there after he dropped that ball on the first play, and you know, getting his confidence back. Those type of things come out and help out later on in the half.
Loeb has shown a lot of poise here this afternoon. Here we had a delayed stunt by the backer, and in the first quarter he had a couple of situations where he could have panicked, but very poised young man.
He does a good job, very confident back there.
Curtis Loeb brings the North over the ball, 3rd and 4 at their own 40. Loeb set back. Willie Huckman fakes that way, and I'm not too sure that wasn't a broken play, as Loeb is forced to take the ball and gets it up near the 43-yard line. He's short of the first down by about 1.5 yards, 2 yards.
Yeah, he did get the first down, and it doesn't look like a great play, but it was a good decision because there was coverage out there. If he would have thrown the ball, we got an interception for a touchdown, I believe. So, you know, sometimes the best things you do are the things you don't do, and by tucking it up and running up in there was a good decision.
And look who's punting, Diallo Lewis for the North. Excuse me, Lewis, the up man. My eyes only go so far. Paul Burton, the punter. That's interesting. It's like wearing a bad pair of glasses. I just lost 5 yards to my left, forgot Burton was ever there. Ball went out of bounds. South will take over.
You know, putting Lewis there as the up back makes you always wonder if there's a fake possibility.
Well, we're seeing on the sidelines being tended to and hobbling on the field, but not severe enough to keep him out, is Thomas James for the North. A 22-yard punt.
Looks like Mark Helfrich is in at quarterback now.
Helfrich in the lineup now. Marshfield will be going to Southern Oregon. Mark Helfrich, he was playing in the defensive secondary in the first half. 1st and 10 for the South, their own 35. Backs in the eye, man in motion now goes Mike Earhart. And we may have a bobbled snap. Bodies dive around that ball. Who's got it?
The fumble on the play at the 35.
They're indicating that the North, one official indicated that the North recovered the ball. I wish they'd make those calls, especially the pros. Does that frustrate you, Coach? And there's a pile, make the call quick instead of peeling guys off, or do you like that?
Well, I think it's better to take the time and make the right decision and then have to change your mind.
Of course, you don't have the wrestling in high school like you do in the pros.
That's true. That's true. Hopefully that, you know, the South maintains possession. I'm sure they didn't go in at halftime and talk about coming out and filming the opening snap.
One official had indicated the North had recovered. However,
funny things can happen at the bottom of those piles sometimes. It doesn't always end up with who started with it.
That's why you always want guys with good, strong forearms, right? So they can get to the bottom of those piles and haul them in.
Yep.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. South maintains possession. They're operating from their own 35. 18-6 our score. North. Third quarter just underway. 13 minutes to go. Mark Helfrich in for the first series of this game at quarterback. Nice little counter play by Helfrich, the quarterback. Faked the handoff left, took the drop step, and went up the right side.
Well, that's a little trap option they ran there. We watched them in practice running this down on goal line. And, you know, with Mark in there, you kind of feel like they might go a little bit with more Marshfield offense to get a little more confidence going here.
Explain how the responsibility of Helfrich on that. What's he have to read on that?
Well, he's got to read the in-man on the line of scrimmage. If he comes upfield, he ducked up nicely inside. He's got a pulling guard out in front of him on that play, and he did a good job of staying with that guy, and they had a nice little seam to run up inside.
Four-man front, which has been the story much of the afternoon for the North, and Helfrich. They bought the fake on Helfrich, but nowhere to go up the middle on the handoff. He extended out and drew some attention, but the handoff up the middle, no gain, maybe a half yard at the most, bring up 2nd and a short 9, long 9.
Well, that time they ran the trap play, and you know, sometimes you outthink yourself. You probably should just come back with the play that worked. They ran the counter play with that, the companion play.
Runners in the eye, 2 tight ends in there now. Man in motion coming to the left side for the South. Ryan Thomas. Fumble on the play. The North jumping up and down. This time the officials' preliminary indication will be the final one. Fumble recovery for the North. Big time break here early in the third quarter.
Well, that's unfortunate. It looked like they had maybe a little something going there with the option game or possibility, and it's frustrating because you can't go down there and show your abilities when that happens.
Well, I'll take an opportunity to see if we can find out which one of the North All-Stars came up with that football. Never really had control of it. Now Damon Williams. He said it was okay to call him Damon. We asked.
Well,
if anybody back in Portland's wondering, I'm taking the liberty. Loeb inside handoff to Willie Huffman, who scored the first touchdown of the game today. Cuts it down inside the 45 to the 44. Bring up 2nd and about 7. 2nd and 7 for the North.
Boy, the North again has manufactured a good field position here with the turnover. The drives of 60 and 52 and 7 yards in the first half are very significant, I think, in the way the score is at this point.
We'll let Coach Williams watch this play. We will too, and then Craig Cheatham will be talking to him. It's Damon Williams he has with him. Handoff Huffman again, gets up to down to the 41. Let's go down with Craig Cheatham.
Yeah, guys, down here with Damon Williams, the man with the quick hands and the quick feet to recover that fumble. Going to Portland State, what does Pokey Allen keep telling you guys that drags so many guys into Portland State?
I don't know, man. It's just a good school, and I just want to go there.
What does a ball game like this mean to you? It's supposed to be a lot of fun, but you guys look like you're going after it pretty good out there.
Yeah, it's like the South against the North, who's the best, and we're trying to show them up our hardest.
All right. Thanks a lot, Damon. Let's go back to the booth.
Split backs behind Curtis Loeb. Try to come back with the counter. And again, tough running by Huffman. Huffman has impressed me a bit. He's tough.
Yeah, a little counter trap off the fullback off tackle, and a good decision now to probably punt the ball and put the South back close to their own end zone. That's been the situation for the South, and with a 12-point lead, I think you can afford to do that right here.
12-point lead at 18-6, 9:30 the clock running. That's a time remaining here in the third quarter. And Paul Burton back on.
This would be a chance to fake it, but if you're inside the 50, but they're going to go ahead and punt it. Good high punt.
Nice high punt. And fair catch called for down at the 5-yard line and received by Ryan Thomas. Good job by the North. Excellent job by Paul Burton. And the South takes over 1st and 10. They now spot it at the South 6-yard line.
just really limits your offensive selection when you start off on your own 5-yard line. You just don't want to make a big mistake here, and hence it's tough to really get a long drive going.
33-yard punt. 6 punts for Paul Burton this afternoon and a 30-yard average. However, he has 2 or 3 of them he's had to try and pull them up and angle it. So that is really indicative of how well he could have punted the ball this afternoon.
He's done a good job. That was a nice high punt. They had good coverage.
Backs in the eye for the North. Helfrich back in at quarterback. Bobbled snap again. I think he finally got control of it, but they are having some problems there in the exchange, Coach.
Well, that's got to get ironed out, or it'll be a long second half. It is unfortunate because I think Mark is a talented player. It'd be nice to see him get away from center and show some of the things he can do.
Young man enjoying the afternoon. And it's nice to see people here actually in long sleeves. We didn't think it would be like this earlier in the week.
Well, it's football season. This is the start of football season. And
so that's why it was overcast, huh?
That's right.
Okay. This is the unofficial opening of the football season. High school, college, and professional. The Shrine game leads to a lot of new football fans. That's what it signifies. Nice hole, look out. Look out. It is Joe Douglas, Offensive Player of the Year, who got a great block to spring him initially and a good cut. And he takes it all the way up to about the 35 before he goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it inside the 35 or the 32, Coach.
Well, I think they probably reminded themselves that was a good play at halftime, and it's good they got back to him. I think when you're up against the wall, maybe you go back to the good things that have worked for you and get some good blocks, kick-out block there by Patterson, I think, and then makes a good cut upfield. Joe really likes to run that play because it gives him a chance to use his quickness and cutting ability.
Neil Fendel taking him out of bounds. Let's go down now to Craig Cheatham.
All right, guys, I'm here with Willie Huffman, bruising fullback from Barlow High School, and been battering some heads out there, but not too busy to think about a friend of yours in the hospital today. What do you want to say to him?
I'd like to say hi to Rich Nevis. He's a real good friend of mine. Hang in there, Rich. I'll come see you tomorrow. We love you, buddy.
Rich was is an alternate for this game. He was paralyzed in a boating accident. Hang in there, Rich. Let's go back to the booth.
Mark Helfrich's pass intercepted by Neil Fendel. Fendel out of Milwaukee, and another opportunity for the North. As the South certainly not coming out here in the third quarter much sharper than they went into the locker room.
Well, they set up good play action here. It's just a little bit late in throwing the ball. He sees this guy a little bit too late, and then the ball wobbles off into the wind there a little bit, and he had the receiver behind him, but he had to come back to the ball, and really a good recovery by the defensive back there.
1st and 10 for the North All-Stars at their own 45, and a fired up, to say the least, South defense.
Well, John Fairbank made a really aggressive play there. He wanted to make something happen in response to that turnover, and he really made a great play.
Well, they're certainly not out of it by any stretch at just 18-6.
2 touchdowns and you're there. That's not insurmountable at all.
2nd and 10. North with the ball at their own 45. Curtis Loeb rolls left, looks upfield, squares the shoulders. Nice defensive play in at the last minute. David Beeson to break that up. And we have flags all over, Gary.
Well, I don't know. That was an awfully good break on the ball by the DB, but they're closer to the action than we are. It'll be interesting to see the replay.
All right, let's take a peek at it now and see if Beeson made contact before the ball was in the receiving area.
Again, we see him getting outside, though, quite easily, and they've done a good job of letting those quarterbacks get outside. It's tough to say, you know.
We'll give them the benefit if they'll give all of us the benefit. It's the first game of the year.
Yeah,
we'll give those guys the benefit.
Well, it was a good aggressive play, I think, by the defensive back. I think he's got to play that way.
You wouldn't fault him from the sideline if he were your player for that play, would you?
I think you got to be aggressive. Made a good plant and drive, and you could have went either way.
Most coaches would rather tolerate an aggressive mistake over a passive mistake, I think. They picked it up?
I guess so. Still back here.
They're just practicing today, I get the feeling. It's 2nd and 10. Loeb wants to go the same way. A little more pressure this time, but he eludes the tackler, but not those 3. Finally, they contain Curtis Loeb from the outside. Coming in to help out for the South was number 9, Chris Chambers is in there now playing in the defensive backfield.
Well, Jeff Zellick gets in there quick, too, to kind of throw things out of whack. I think he made good penetration and made Loeb stop from looking downfield and does a good job. You see, he gets quick pressure in here, and Zellick's there in his face. And once that happens, it becomes very difficult for the quarterback to regain what's going on downfield. And then you can get the other people showing up there. And you get 3 guys on the quarterback, that's a good sign.
That was John Hammock, 8, not number 9. Loeb, delay handoff. They're going to try and spring Reynolds. Reynolds gets it up to the 45, cross to the 46-yard line, but not enough. It'll bring up a punt. Let's go down to the sidelines with Craig Cheatham.
Okay, well, we thought we had a sign up. There it goes. Go number 30, Cowboy Cam Reynolds. I'm going to explain where the Cowboy came from. He won a mechanical bull riding contest at the Benton County Fair. This guy stayed on for 37 seconds. That's an athlete. A little bit crazy, but it's an athlete. Let's go back to the corral.
I'll believe it when the Bee Gees do the soundtrack. The punt, fair catch called for at the 12-yard. 37 seconds. The mechanical bull, he's a tough young man. Fair catch called for, and a little discussion among the players. It's quickly settled by the officials. If one player for the South will come to the sideline, it will be quickly settled. It'll be 1st and 10 South after the timeout. Timeout has been called. We have 6 minutes, 9 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. 18-6 our score. The North All-Stars with the lead. The South will have the ball when we come back.
There's the pitch. He struck him out, number 5,000.
This is Nolan Ryan. Striking out people is important to me. But seeing that young children don't strike out is important to a group of men known as the Shriners. Shriners Hospitals provide free expert medical care to children under 18 with orthopedic and burn problems. They treat children regardless of race, religion, or nationality. If you know a child the Shriners can help, call this toll-free number.
Shriners Hospitals for crippled children.
Back at Parker Stadium, Mike Stone along with Gary Beck, 18-6. The North in the lead. The South will start 1st and 10 from their own 13. Interesting statistic passed to you, Gary, by John Simmons. Some of the yard lines that the South has started their drives on, and nothing over the 35.
Well, that's a real significant statistic. I'm not sure how they've done that, but they've done a good job of keeping them down there with the punting game.
Now we got some flags. Now the officials are warming up to the task. It's the second half. We're down to 6:09 the 3rd quarter. They're remembering how to get the flags out of their pocket. What do we have? 5 yards?
Offsides on the
offsides. While they're marching off 5, well, let's go down to the sideline with Ed Whalen.
Hi, got 2 gentlemen here just came off on the defense. Hometown guy Mark Gregg and Jordan Kruger from Ashland. You know, this is the most emotion that I've seen you guys play with in the whole football game, that last defensive stand.
Yeah, we got a pretty good pep talk going in the locker room and got it going.
Yeah, pretty good pep talk means you got your fannies chewed, didn't it?
Basically, they just told us to get, we could take these guys because they're not, their talent isn't any better, so we just have to get our act together, and so we just had to follow through, and we have so far.
Yeah, this is a very emotional game, and I think that a little bit of more emotion for you guys would go a long way.
Yeah. Well, just got to wrap up the ball carrier when we tackle. We can't miss the tackles like we've been doing. And 32 is pretty powerful, man. We got to fly to the ball and get our whole team on. That's the reason. First half, he kind of ran through us, so they told us to just fly to the ball. Have all 11 get to him and then get him down.
Okay, young man from Lake Ridge as we watch 1st and 10 for the South here.
Mark Helfrich takes the ball wide right, nobody downfield, elects to run with it, gets it up across the 30 to maybe the 31, perhaps the 32-yard line. Chasing him down, not making the play himself, but he's been all over this field, sideline to sideline. For the North has been Andre Griggs, number 44.
Well, he
didn't make the play, but the guy's everywhere.
He's an impressive player. Good play fake. Had a guy open for just a second, but I think he made the right move pulling it down. The coverage got back to him and makes a good gain out of the play.
Well, he helped make the play. He made him cut back inside, and teammate Jim Rufner was there to make the initial hit. 2nd and 5 for the South. Runners in the eye, man in motion coming left, Ryan Thomas. And off the other way goes Santos. Mark Santos back in the lineup. He had a fairly impressive second quarter for the South. He's got enough for the first down, does he?
Oh, yeah,
yes,
I think
he
so.
does. Oh, yeah, 1st and 10.
Good job of running. That play, they've had some success cutting up inside of the kick-out blocks there, and the defense closes down pretty tough, and he bounces it to the outside there, and that's good instincts by a good runner.
Just that crossing action again.
Yes.
Make the backers commit perhaps to the first man and take that read and go the other way. Now we got trips, 3 wide receivers left. For the South on 1st and 10, Helfrich. Got a man inside the 50. It's caught. Close to a first down. Getting up with a reception for the South is Lance Mimnaugh on the reception. Now they're waving to stop the clock. Perhaps they will give this a measurement.
Yeah, it's a little bit short, I believe, looking from here.
Correction on the reception. It was Ryan Thomas, was it? I apologize.
Teammate of Lance's, so it's close.
Close, but still, the Thomas family would want me to correct it. They're not that close. I don't know. 2nd and 1 for the South. Mike Earhart in motion. Woo, nothing for Joe Douglas. Nothing at all but shoulder pads and a big stick by Pete Fisher of the North.
Well, he makes an aggressive move and kind of beats the pull blocking there to the 20 of the attack. They had a little trouble with the handoff. You could see him bobbling the center snap again and a little slow in developing, and I think that's what allowed him to get it to make the tackle.
You're absolutely right. He bobbled it, then he that took that timing off. He collided with the running back. Of course, again, they don't work together. 10 days they've had to work. That's it. Helfrich's got a bunch of receivers to the right side, but nothing he can do about it. Nice defensive play by Tom Nelson.
Well, again, good pass rush there, and they just haven't bought enough time for those quarterbacks on the South to really see what's happening downfield.
225 pounds of Tom Nelson was there to drop him. He'll be going to Western Oregon State College and in to do the kicking. We've got a good chance to see both kickers here this afternoon. Ryan Longwell from his own 30. High snap, but no pressure, and again a low kick. That could be trouble. Cameron Reynolds going to come straight upfield. Good coverage this time. He gets up to about the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. The North will take over. 1st and 10. They lead it 18-6. 2 minutes 30 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and appearing limping off the field for the South was Royce McElroy. We'll find out about him and more when we come back.
Millions of Americans want to know which delectable Dairy Queen treat is going on sale this Monday. Is it the famous Peanut Buster Parfait, the incomparable Banana Split, or how about the Blizzard or a Breeze frozen yogurt treat? You'll only know if you join the rush to your neighborhood Dairy Queen this coming Monday, because the greatest sale ever on a Dairy Queen treat starts Monday at participating stores throughout the better part of the world. Dairy Queen, where we treat you right.
The Al Cater and Hilla Shriners wish to thank the following corporate organizations and sponsors who have donated funds and services in support of the 45th Annual Shrine Bowl of Oregon. They also wish to thank these player backers who have donated money for support of the players at the Shrine Bowl of Oregon.
Two minutes, 23 seconds remain here in the third quarter. Mike Stone along with Gary Beck, and the North in control of this ball game, 18-6. In the first half, John Simmons is giving us some comparative line of scrimmages where these drives have started from, and you alluded to this in the second half and the beginning of the third quarter. The field position has not been good for the South.
No, and you have to give the North credit for creating that situation.
On the toss, Going to try and get the corner. Again, it's Cameron Reynolds. Reynolds cuts back, tries it towards the middle, gets it up to about the 38-yard line. Pickup of 8 yards. Not a bad first down play. Craig Cheatham's got some information for us.
Thanks, guys. We're talking with Tom Nelson from Barlow High School, one of the 4 guys from Barlow High School. Just made a big play. Where does a guy your size get that kind of quickness?
Mostly lifting weights and hard work, running.
Going to Western Oregon, and I noticed something on your belly here, if we can get a shot of this, Devin. It says Mott. Why Mott?
It's my nickname, Mott, from home, and just wanted to show you on TV that.
Yeah. So what does Mott mean?
It's my name backwards. It's a long story how it became, but that's what everyone calls me.
All right, Mott tells me that it's a story we probably don't want to share with you on the air. Let's go back to the booth.
It's short of the first down by an inch.
Now I'm real anxious to find out what it is. I'm going to go down the locker room after the game. I could not drive back to Portland without knowing. 2 minutes, 11 seconds. 18-6, North. Second, and that's not one. John Simmons. Second and 1 officially, but you can tell by the measurement they've got just inches to go. Loeb again at the quarterback, offset backs. Wide receiver left. Doesn't have to go anywhere else. Willie Huffman, nice job maintaining the balance just like the drill. That's a drill the running backs do almost daily in practice, and that time it paid off. He picked up an extra 3 or 4 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 for the North from their own 49. Nice job by Huffman.
Yeah, really good job there. You like to see running backs that get yardage after initial contact, and you can see the feet keep moving and gets good forward lean there. That's a nice effort on his part. He looks like a tough guy to bring down.
He really does. He's fundamentally very, very sound. Willie Huffman out of Barlow. They go to Cameron Reynolds this time. And there wasn't much there at all for Reynolds to operate with. We have a whole bunch of players from the South getting up the bottom of that pile. Once again, you're having the opportunity to help the Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children. You can help by calling. All the proceeds of the donations called in will go directly to the Shriner Hospital for Crippled Children in Portland. And the net proceeds of the game will benefit the Shriner Hospital for Crippled Children. So please help out. You'll have more opportunities as we go through the game. We're down to about a minute left in the third and going into the fourth quarter. So you got time to help. 2nd and 9 for the North. Ball right at the 50. Curtis Loeb with Gresham. Danson dodging, plants, throws, nice throw. Oh, tough break. That was an excellent individual effort just to get open to throw the ball by Curtis Loeb, and he had a man, David Douglas, wide open at the 4, but just couldn't connect.
Well, I think they just underestimated a little bit of the quarterback's man. Great effort here to get open, and then a good job of setting his feet and throwing the ball. Threw the ball 55 yards, and wind may have helped him out and roll that ball a little bit too far for him. But good effort there by the receiver extending out there.
Nice effort by everybody involved.
Zellick again causing some pressure there, getting upfield. He's doing a good job of rushing inside.
3 wide receivers left side for the North. Rolling left, looking for a block. Gets one from Huffman. Pass complete. Loeb, good for the first down.
Now that's real impressive. He knows
Piaski with a reception.
Knew down and distance right there and got the ball to the man there. He's going to get a first down for him. Good job, a good route by Piaski there, and a good job of making sure they got the first down.
Boy, every time we turn around to compliment a football player here, at least in the second half, it sounds like we're talking nothing but the Portland State Vikings. Here's Curtis Loeb. He's going to Portland State.
Well, Pokey Allen does a good job up there.
Yeah, Pokey's got his feet up on the coffee table at home and feeling pretty good about his recruiting here about now. Long setback, Loeb, quick pass to the outside, not there, a little too high.
Tough play to complete, that quick out pattern. It has to be a little bit lower than that. If you're going to miss, you want to miss low, and that gives the receiver a chance. That's a tough one, especially when you haven't had a lot of time to work on it like these players have.
Jason Lawrence was the intended receiver. 2nd and 10. North in the white, South All-Stars in the blue. Time enough for one play. Clock will start, and it'll pretty much conclude the third quarter. Loeb wanted to go back the other way, but he had no opportunity, and I think you know who that was who brought him down. That's your former ball player, Mark Gregg.
Well, it's nice to see him make a good play like that.
Who taught him all that?
Our defensive coordinator, probably.
Way too modest. Now we have a procedure call against the North. Combined with a great play by Greg and a procedure call, and the North is going to back up. And there is 14 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Gets a good pass rush, gets off the blocker real quick and gets in the quarterback's face. And they were trying to run a little out and up there. They tried to set that up with a quick out on the previous play, and good coverage by the defensive back. He stayed at home and certainly allowed Mark to get there.
He's going south to play for Rich Brooks. See what the North does. They're probably not even going to get a playoff. We're down to 5 seconds. Third down, 15 yards to go, and that's it. That's the end of the third quarter.
There's the whistle. There's the
Sun is out, but it's not unbearably hot, at least not up here. Maybe a little warmer on the field, but nothing like what they were anticipating. And it's still time to have the South turn this into a tight ball game. It's only 18-6 at the end of the third quarter. We'll be back with the fourth and final quarter of the 45th Annual Shrine Bowl in just a moment.
To know which delectable Dairy Queen treat is going on sale this Monday. Is it the famous Peanut Buster Parfait, the incomparable Banana Split, or how about the Blizzard or a Breeze frozen yogurt treat? You'll only know if you join the rush to your neighborhood Dairy Queen this coming Monday, because the greatest sale ever on a Dairy Queen treat starts Monday at participating stores throughout the better part of the world. Dairy Queen, where we treat you right.
When a muffler goes, some people look for a cheap replacement. They think it costs less. Fact is, they can get a quality Midas muffler starting at $24.95. Fact is, a guaranteed economizer muffler starting at $24.95. Fact is, installed by experts starting at $24.95. So when somebody says they have a cheaper muffler than Midas, they're right. When they say they're better, fact is, they're wrong. Don't believe anybody ever beats Midas.
They switch ends of the field to start the fourth and final quarter of play. 18-6 the score. North with the lead. They have the ball. Curtis Loeb, the quarterback, back split behind him. Again, Cameron Reynolds has had a workout here this afternoon. Tough running. Puts it down inside the 40, close to the 36-yard line. Cameron Reynolds.
A little sprint draw action here. They've had a lot of success sprinting outside, and this is a good play to go along with this play. And again, you get about 5 yards after his initial contact.
Are we going to see a punt? Yes, we are.
Well, this would be a good opportunity inside the other team's 40 if it doesn't, to fake a punt, I think. But maybe with the lead as it is, they won't do that.
Paul Burton, as he has done all afternoon, the punter and kicker. Flag on the play. Ball is going to carry into the end zone. Right down the center. About a flag at the 38-yard line. So everybody's stopping before they switch units on the field to see what the call is going to be. 37-yard punt. On 8 punts, Burton's average 32 yards. And again, that's a bit deceiving. In the first half in particular, he had 2 or 3 that he had to try to soften up and drop in there.
He's done a good job of putting him down close to the goal line.
The officials deciding where to mark the ball. Procedure call against the North. South's going to make them do it again.
5-yard penalty.
South will make them punt it over again. I don't know the way things have been going for the South. Maybe the 20-yard line isn't all that bad at field possession. See Burton now. He tried. I'm missing something here. I've watched him punt. Now there, he got the help. He was waiting for some coverage. You got to give him hang time if you're going to get the coverage down there.
Well, that's an unfortunate break for the South.
That was strange.
Now they're still back in that hole again. 41-yard punt.
41-yard punt. was kind of wondering why he might not have been trying to angle it a little bit instead of pooching it down the middle.
Well, you get a good high kick, you can get good coverage, and the AstroTurf, the way it is today, nice and dry, will hang on to it pretty tough.
Excuse me. The third quarter statistics are up there, Gary, and again, total yards, about a 50-yard advantage for the North.
33 turnovers, only 2 turnovers. That's really a good deal.
And for the South, big play. Jeff Crampton on the handoff. Crampton takes it up, cuts to the left, crosses the 20-yard line. Now they're going to back it up, spot it right at the 20-yard line. That'll be a first down for the South.
You get those defensive linemen down there close to the goal line, and they're thinking getting safety times and 2 points, and they become easier to trap, and I think that play was a quick trap to the fullback there, and really a good call, because you can expect that type of action out of the defensive line at that point.
Let's go down now to the sideline and check in with Ed Whalen.
Mark Gregg made that defensive stop, give him the football back as it turned out. You're going to play lineman for Rich Brooks down in Oregon, huh?
Yeah.
Watch this big play, send it back upstairs. We'll come back to Mark in just a second. Booth.
Chris Chambers threw Diane Quayle up there. Well, apologies to Dan. Threw a lousy pass. That's better during an election year. And it worked. It worked.
He was under a little pressure again by the Griggs, number 44, but he got it up in the air quick enough, and that's really the key thing when you're throwing the out and up.
A wind-aided Dying Quayle, complete to Earhart. First down. After this play, we'll go back down to Ed. I-backs behind Chambers. Nothing there. Let's go back down on the field with Ed Whalen.
Well, that political analogy might not be too far off, but you're going down to Oregon to play football for Rich Brooks. He's going to have you in the offensive line. I understand that Coach Beck had to take 25 pounds off of you at the end of your junior year.
No, it was more of I just had to lose the weight because I had to pick up the speed a little bit. Wasn't quite fast enough, as fast as I would like to be. So, you know, I just need to pick up a lot of speed.
Now you're going to put weight back on through weights when you go down to Oregon.
Yeah.
You played about 270, 275 maybe for Brooks down there.
I don't know. See what happens. Hopefully they'll give me a chance at defense. You know, I think I'm faster than I was, you know, just during the year. I think I could have a pretty good chance of playing defense.
Well, what do you suppose what's going to happen down there if the football coach at Oregon gets in an argument with the athletic director?
I think one of the two is going to win.
Yeah, you got that right. Babyface young man going to be an Oregon Duck.
Yep.
Okay.
I think Brooks would win in that fight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Okay.
All right, thank you, Ed. Pass intended for Ryan Thomas fell incomplete. It is third down, 8 yards to go. Ball at the North 48, South in the blue. Chris Chambers, the quarterback out of Ashland. Pass again intended out on the left side for Ryan Thomas, a little too high. Well, we've heard you being credited for some good coaching and getting Mark Gregg tutored so he could get in the Shrine game, and now you're a regular Jenny Craig and Weight Watchers. The weight loss this young man kind of did over the last summer.
He did that on his own. He made the decision. He wanted to get good strength on, weight on, and did it on his own. He has to take the credit for that. He played well for us last fall, but he knows he's going to have to get stronger and quicker to play in college, and he's done that all himself.
Well, that worked out better than it should have. The ball, low snap, and check it out. Look where they are spotting that ball. For one of the few times in this ball game, the South has an opportunity to bury the North at their own end. That ball went out of bounds at the 3-yard line. What should have been a disaster turned out to be a plus.
Well, yeah, good. Making good things happen out of problems and a little adversity there, and it'll be really interesting. It'd be really helpful to the South if they can hold them down here and make them punt quickly and 3 downs and get a little of that field position themselves.
Let's talk to a punter. Let's go down with Craig Cheatham. He's got one with him.
Guys, I'm here with the other team's punter, Paul Burton, who is also going to be an Oregon Duck. Paul, you've got an interesting situation facing you. Not only are you an excellent football player, but you're also a major league prospect. Gives you a tough decision that you've got to make, but I understand you've already made it. What's your future?
I'm going to school. I'm going to play football. I got, 4 or 5 years ahead of me. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not going to shut any doors. Baseball is still a possibility, but as far as in the next couple of years, probably not. We'll probably have to wait.
You're not used to kicking without a tee. How tough is it?
It's different. I've had to make a lot of adjustments at this point. It's pretty evident right now what's going on. not only am I having a tough time with the snapper and the holder and the timing and everything else, but I've struggled all week just getting used to kicking off the turf. It started rolling around towards the end of the week. I started, coming back, doing a pretty good job, but at this point, it's just the timing thing and everything else involved. It's just a little bit off.
All right. Thanks a lot, Paul. Also tough getting the ball up when you don't have that tee as well. Let's go back to the booth.
We have had 2 miscues, and this one cost them. The North lost it, and it cost them. First, it was a procedure penalty. Diallo Lewis in at quarterback. Then it missed a match on the exchange between center and quarterback, I believe. And the first real big break in this game, Gary, for the South All-Stars. And this could turn it around real quick.
Well, they'll turn it around now, and the North may not have a chance to recover. But, well, they were more positive than I was. I was hoping to make them punt in 3 downs. They wanted to get a fumble, and sure enough, they did.
Well, we're all looking like you at home to see who's coming up in the bottom of that pile. And it certainly isn't any white jerseys, and it appears down at the very bottom, number 56, 56 is Ryan Adelman. A name I should never get wrong. Running backs in the eye. Chris Chambers again, the quarterback. That cross action, standing up, touchdown, Joe Douglas. But what do we got in the backfield? The flag back at the 9.
Generally going to have some type of procedure back there, thrown at that time of the play.
Beautifully executed play. It is a play they have run all day. That crossing action. Plays being shuffled by receivers now. Checking into the South lineup, Mike Earhart. That's the call. They'll go back the other way.
Illegal shift against the South.
Well, Ed Whalen found out who came up from the bottom of that pile. I think we picked the right guy. Did we, Ed?
Okay, it was Royce McElroy from Eagle Point who got that. Yeah, okay. Tell me what happened on that play.
It was a great defensive play. Our defensive studded up, hit him, caused a fumble.
You needed it. You guys needed it at this point in the game.
Bad. We have a good defensive line that just studded up then, and they had to.
I saw that stuff above your lip there.
It was just the water.
Well,
puberty.
Yeah, okay, man. Well, good luck to you. Maybe you can pull it out. And the TD.
You got it. Touchdown to Mike Earhart. Touchdown South, and we've got a ball game going, folks. It's 18-12. Plenty of time. 11:32 to go. The North lead has been cut to 6.
Good play fake. Caught the defensive back looking into the backfield there. But, you hate to use an old cliche, but that was inches away from being 102 yards the other way. That's a little lower. That defensive back's going to pick it up and go the other way. But a good touch on it and a good route by Earhart.
Calculated risk. Didn't work out. Worked out just fine for the South. Longwell in for the point after. He got it. We've got our point first, the point after of the afternoon. So with 11 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the 45th annual Shrine Bowl, our score now, the North All-Stars 18, the South 13. It's heating up on the field, and it's heating up on both sidelines.
If you're hungry for the gold, you practice, practice, practice. If you're just hungry, you go to McDonald's.
Where for a limited time, you can get a big, beefy triple cheeseburger.
For a big guy, like myself.
With 3 juicy all-beef patties, it's sure to cut even the biggest hunger down to size.
Big guy, Mikey.
And get a free USA Olympic Basketball Collector Cup when you buy any large soft drink.
What you want is what you get.
At McDonald's today.
Hello, I'm Peter Graves, and today a group of men known as the Shriners have taken on a mission to help our youth. It's a mission that's far from impossible, but they need your help. If you know a child under the age of 18 with problems of the bones or muscles who needs first-class medical care but can't afford it, call this toll-free number. Help is available at any one of the 22 no-cost Shriners hospitals for crippled children. The Shriners of North America, helping children since 1922.
18-13. 18-13 our score. The North-South just scored on a 2-yard, one-play drive that took 24 seconds. Boy, you don't miss a thing, Simmons. You get them all. A point you brought up while we were way at the break about the stability of the South quarterback compared to the first half.
Well, he just looks like he's throwing the ball much more confidence this half, and it's tough if you've been a starter and played all the time in high school to kind of switch off and on here in these games, and you have to do it to play everybody, but he certainly looks more comfortable right now.
Bobbling the ball, Thomas James. He gets it up to the 15, to the 25, and bodies knock him around and do a little pinball number on him, and they knock him across the 25 up to maybe the 26-yard line. 23-yard return of a 62-yard kickoff attempt. The North takes over with a 5-point lead and a lot of time on the clock, 11:23. Something sustained right now would probably please Coach Jerry Williams of the North.
Well, you have to have an answer to something. When something goes good for the other team, you have to respond in a positive way, and certainly this drive would be critical, I think, for the North confidence.
All right, let's see what the South does defensively. They show that 5-man front again. Mark Gregg on the nose, and a procedure call against the North. Diallo Lewis in their quarterback, and there has been some mix-up since he has come in.
Well, it's going to happen when you have different players out there. And I think this is why you see in the regular season people not shuffling quarterbacks. It's a critical spot. And you really can't blame the kids. It might just be something as simple as a change of voice inflection and stuff that is causing them problems. And it's something you just have to kind of expect in a game like this.
He's from Eugene. He's heading for Montana. He stopped in Corvallis to play today. Mike Earhart's down on the sidelines with Ed Whalen.
Standing here with a young man who caught that pass for the touchdown, Mike Earhart. You know, that was almost 102 the other way.
It was looking that way, but we sucked him in a little bit on the dive fake, and that got him just enough for the quarterback to lob it over the head so I could get in there for the touchdown. It's a good pass, good play.
Well, a well-known coach in this state, Don Reed, who coached at Portland State and Oregon, got this. When you're going to Montana, you know it gets so cold in Missoula, the birds don't sing.
Yeah, it was pretty cold when we were there. I mean, everything dies there, so it's so cold.
Okay, well, listen, thanks, and good luck to you. You guys got them right where you want to now, don't you?
Yeah, it's right there. We have a chance now.
Okay, Mole's back on the south side.
Diallo Lewis completed a pass to Jeff Sinclair. Sinclair out of Reynolds High School. He'll be going to Willamette University, and here goes Lewis making something out of it. Great athletic ability, and he takes it inside the 50-yard line down to the south. 49, another first down for the North, and more importantly, maintaining possession.
Well, he makes a big pass, a nice pass to get a first down on the last play, and then here again, you saw the contain come up wide to the outside, make the cut right there inside, and it's got to be frustrating for the contain person out there. When you have that great athletic ability out there in the open, it's really difficult for you.
So Lewis indeed getting plenty of looks here at quarterback for the North All-Stars today. Lone setback, 3 wide receivers right, trips right. Lewis, short roll to the right, has a man. Cameron Reynolds didn't have a chance to hang on. He barely had a chance to hang on to his head. It was almost severed from his shoulders on a big-time hit down there by John Hammock.
Well, that's a DB's dream to have that guy coming out there with his back turned to you, and you get a nice running shot at him.
Hammock is going to be a dog. That's D-A-W-G, University of Washington.
That's the way those guys play up there. They come and put a pretty good look on you.
Worst thing that happened to the Pac-10 was 3 or 4 years ago. Don James started to put some speed with that size. He always had the size, and he started getting some speed, and it was all over. 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Timeout has been called on the field. We're still at 18-13. The game getting very interesting now. 5-point edge for the North All-Stars. The North scoring coming twice in the first half and scoring early in the third quarter. This game is being heard on a network, if you will, and you can see now that on KOIN TV in the Portland area, it's down in Eugene, Springfield, and the people in the southern part of the state are picking it up, and they're also getting it on a radio station network, a 5-station network.
Fans, this year you can listen to all
Good ball game for this 45th annual Shrine Classic. An experiment, if you will, by the Shriners. The first time in 45 years it has been taken out of the Portland metropolitan area. Attendance will be a factor here. And, of course, money raised to determine whether it is an experiment they want to continue. Wherever this game is played, we certainly hope it is of benefit to the Children's Hospital. And did I just see somebody walking off? That Ryan Longwell looked like he was walking off a minute ago, the punter. Second and 10. North with the ball. Quick pitch. Cameron Reynolds. Inside the 45, down near the 43-yard line. Bring up third down for the North. They just want to watch that clock go down a ways, chew up some time.
They keep getting 5 yards a play like this, and they'll be in good shape. Again, there's no indecision there. He's going to turn up and go and make some good things happen. And you get that good momentum going, you're going to get that extra 2 or 3 yards after the contact.
Rod Miles in on the stop. He's out of Marshfield High School. Again, the toss will go left this time with Cameron Reynolds. Reynolds eludes one tackler, puts the shoulder pads down, and gets it to the 40, but I think he's just a little bit shy of that first down.
That'd be about a half yard. A little better pressure from the corner. Dave Beeson came up pretty quickly there to try to meet the interference coming in, and good job of turning it back into the pursuit.
Well, this doesn't happen too often in all-star games. We got a young man getting close to a 100-yard game. 15 rushes, 91 yards. Cameron Reynolds. I say it doesn't happen too often, not because of the caliber of talent, but they're shuffling players so often you don't normally see a guy get a chance to gain 100.
Well, he got on the field first and was doing some good things. I think they felt comfortable leaving him in there.
He has gone out simply for some air and some water, and he has earned it. 8:40 to go in this ball game. North with the ball. I thought somebody might have gone a little too soon on the right side of that line, but no. Willie Huffman on the handoff. Pull back out of Barlow inside the 40 down to the 36-yard line. Another first down for the North, and some of the South defenders are getting up slow.
Well, they had some things going there, good field position after the touchdown, but we said the North team is responding very positively here, and well, I don't think you stop Huffman for less than 2 yards. He's a good short yardage runner.
8:25 to go in the game, 18-13 North. Let's pause for station identification.
KOIN TV, Portland, Vancouver.
Diallo, horse-collared, on his way down on his back, let the ball go, found Willie Huffman miraculously, and they get back to the original line of scrimmage. Again, you'd have a few extra gray hairs on a play like that if you were coaching, wouldn't you? Makes you a little nervous?
Well, it would, but you have great athletes that make great plays, and sometimes they know more about it than you do, I think. And that was a great play just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10. Diallo Lewis has gone to the sidelines, has taken himself to the sidelines. So that brings Loeb back into quarterback now. Curtis Loeb back into quarterback, and he's a bit confused. He had to rush out at the last minute. He didn't like what he saw, so he wisely called timeout. 7 minutes, 25 seconds. We're trying to see what it was that Diallo Lewis had taken himself out for.
Well, I think he got a pretty good lick on that pass play. He got yanked in kind of an awkward position, and you know, I think the really nice thing is they haven't dropped off. When they switched quarterbacks on the north side, Loeb and Lewis have done a good job and really kept the team going. And a good job there, good poise by the quarterback there, calling timeout, because this is a critical time to keep making some first downs and run the clock a little bit for them. There's no need to have a penalty and have a mistake here on this part of the field. A very significant time in the game for them.
So that's exactly what Curtis Loeb did. He called the timeout to make sure they all were on the same page. It'll be 2nd down and 10 to go when the clock starts again. North has had the lead the whole way to here this afternoon. 18-13 our score. Now we've got some shuffling of some fresh bodies in on the defense. They're going to go with an extra DB as they send in Ryan Thomas defensively. Excellent receiver, and I'm sure an outstanding DB.
Yeah, I think this is an interesting situation here where they're going to use 4 downs to try to make a first down, or, you know, the field goal certainly plays into it. Here they are kicking into the wind, but they have some good kickers in this game. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do.
Loeb remains at quarterback as Diallo Lewis goes out just to catch his breath. Play fake. Play action pass incomplete, intended for Willie Huffman out on the left, and Huffman had nowhere to go and smothered by Ryan Thomas. Ryan Thomas has been watching a lot of NFL football as he's giving a little trash talk as they walk by.
Well, they always want to talk to each other out there.
Hey, they're having fun. They were doing it all week in practice. When you got them staying this close together and staying in the dorm complexes that are just up the street from each other and practice fields, why a lot of this is more good-natured than serious. Lone setback behind Loeb, and 3rd and 10 from the 37-yard line. North with the ball. South with the quarterback, Loeb. They drop him back at the 45-yard line, a loss of 8 yards on the play.
Well, John Petsu does a great job of getting upfield here and causing Curtis Loeb to pull up, and he was significant on that last the play previous to that and causing some pressure there. He gets upfield and you get a little penetration and prevents that sprint out, and now you get some help from the backside. Does a good job, doesn't lose contain.
Petsu's got a hand, and who's that coming in for the kills? I think that was Greg, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Greg, and I think upward and one other play.
Not a great punt. Flag is thrown up near the 21-yard line. The ball is down inside of the 20. A flag at the 21 of the South. And again, we'll let them sort it out. 27-yard punt. While they're sorting it out, we'll let you know that I'm Mike Stone along with Gary Beck. It's 18-13 our score. The North by 5. 6:49 remaining in the ball game. The ball game is the 45th annual Shrine Bowl from Parker Stadium, Corvallis. It'll continue in just a moment.
Hold me, never let me go until you use me. When you do, I know you'll always choose me. Let me know that I'm the one for you.
It's the one that gets used. U.S. West Direct.
Never let me go.
One of the finest hospital systems in the world has charged the same amount for 65 years. Nothing. It's the Shriners Hospitals for Crippled Children, a nationwide network of outstanding orthopedic hospitals and burn centers where children under 18 get excellent medical care in friendly, compassionate surroundings, free of charge. If you know a child the Shriners could help, call this number toll-free for information. Shriners Hospitals for Crippled Children. Thank you.
Well, they finally moved the ball back, but not where they were supposed to, so he had to come back the other way. You missed a lot of excitement. Sometimes the mystery of indecision can be enough to keep you spellbound. Now they've got it cleared up, and again, in all fairness to the officials, hey, if the players have only had 9 or 10 days to prepare, they got it worked out. There was some kind of illegal use of the hands on the punt, and now the South has called for a timeout.
The timeout is called by South.
All right. All of a sudden, the word continuity becomes foreign to everybody. 6:46. That's the time remaining. 18-13. North with the lead and South with some confusion. Let's take a look once again, if you would please, at the opportunity you have. You've had this opportunity throughout the game, and we hope you will help. This game is not just for football fans. This game has been put on as the window dressing to draw attention to the Shriners Hospital. This number is on your screen. It has been throughout the game. And please, all the net proceeds from this game go directly to the Shriners Hospital, and all of the proceeds from the donations go directly to the Shriners Hospital for Crippled Children. To those of you who have helped already this afternoon, we thank you. To those of you who are ready to contribute right now, we appreciate it very much. Here we go, back to football. 4th and 9 for the North.
They're not even putting a guy back this time. I think they're going to be alert for...
There's no trust.
Nothing to gain by just let it roll in the end zone if it's kicked.
Paul Burton, as he has all afternoon, doing the kicking and punting chores. And let's see, he's going to try and drop it in. Can he do it? Ooh, did he get a hand on it? No, he did not. All right, they almost had an opportunity to bury the South once again, but they didn't pull it off. The South will take over, trailing by 5, first down from their own 20-yard line, and 6 minutes, 38 seconds remaining in the ball game.
I don't think we could ask for anything more now. We got a game that's going to be decided here in the last of the 4th quarter. I think that's a good way to have this game played.
Everything just worked out perfect. The weather cooperated certainly as far as you and I and the players are concerned. It'd be hot up there, but it would have been hotter in the field. The play has been good and exciting for the fans. Trips right, lone setback. Chambers the quarterback for the South. He's the ball carrier. Took the handoff. Correction, that was Crampton. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. May have lost a yard. Ludwig over there from Gresham, along with Andre Griggs.
Tried to open the series with that trap play again. A little different out on the 20 instead of opening on your own 2-yard line.
Just taking a look at some statistics. John Simmons passed our way, and 45 rushes for the North. Out of 66 plays, they rushed the ball 45 times for 187 yards so far. 301 total yards for the North.
That's a good offensive production in a game like this.
Chambers looking over the middle man there. Great grab. Nice grab by number 86, Jeff Zellick. Correction, it's Mimnaugh, Lance Mimnaugh. It's a 0, not a 6. Thank you, Gary, for correcting me. Mimnaugh with the catch. I've done that to him twice. I don't think I'll be invited over to their house.
Well, you can see there's some confidence here between these two guys. Chris is definitely sitting up there a lot more confidence in the pocket, and that was certainly an outstanding catch.
He'll be going to Weber State. Mimnaugh played at Ashland with Chambers, the quarterback.
Well, maybe in time of crunch time here, they're going to go to their buddies and guys they're comfortable with, they've played with before.
He's going nowhere right now except into the grass. The North interior lineman bringing him down. He is Mike Nye, defensive tackle Mike Nye. No chance for Chris Chambers to do anything, and Chambers is shaken up a little bit. He's limping off the field, and Starks is going to go back in at quarterback. Ted Stark back in as Chris Chambers down in front of us is hobbling around a bit. Ow, he got his right ankle apparently buried in a...
That turf will grab onto those shoes and it'll twist those ankles funny in certain times.
Not much give in the artificial turf. Stark coming in under tough conditions, cold, and then he is thrown down back at the 14-yard line. Well, thrown down by number 34, Travis Taylor. Here you get a chance to peek at it again, Gary.
There's quick pressure. They just don't have enough people out there to block the people rushing from the outside. Pick up the inside guy, but the outside guy runs free, and there's just no way that Ted Stark can get around that.
Travis Taylor from Franklin High School. That's the 6th sack for a total loss of 47 yards for the South this afternoon. 4:17 to go in the ball game. Scrambling with the ball now is Ryan Thomas. Thomas does a good job getting it back close to the original line of scrimmage before he's taken out of bounds. So instead of 4th and 34, it's going to be 4th and about 11.
Well, that's important yardage. You get it back, and you have to assume they might come back to that play. It's a simple little quick screen play to the wide receiver. A play you've seen a lot of teams run on TV, and get that quick wide receiver chance to run the ball down the field with the tackle out in front of him. It's a good, simple play.
Well, they hope they get a chance to come back to that and some other plays. They're trailing 18-13. Longwell, the punter. Boy, he's had a tough time getting it up in the air here in the second half. He gets the good roll. It's fielded by Cameron Reynolds at the 15. Finally knocked out of bounds up near the 23-24 yard line. So now the clock becomes an ally to the North and perhaps an enemy to the South with 4 minutes, 1 second on the clock. But the North has the ball and the lead. 52-yard punt, a return of 8 yards.
Well, if the North can get a couple first downs here, they're going to eat up a significant amount of time here and make it very difficult on the South to come back.
Well, how do you feel after going 3 quarters and 11 minutes up here in the booth? You ready to be back down on the field?
Well,
this has been a lot of fun.
It's been a lot of fun, yeah, but I think my calling's still down on the field. At least I hope so.
After 15 years, I think everybody around here feels the same way.
Well, that's a good start to the drive. A good 5-yard play.
Reynolds has got to be over 100 yards by now, I would think.
He's done an outstanding job. I think he's allowed them to control the ball, and he's just a real outstanding runner.
John Simmons loves doing this. Correcting me. It's only 16 carries for 96 yards. He's not there yet. Think you'll get there, John? John says yes. He'll get there for his 100. Lewis back in at quarterback. Young man out of Jesuit. Again, they go to Reynolds, and Never argue with John Simmons. And he's got the first down. He has gained over 100 yards rushing here this afternoon as Cameron Mitchell for the North All-Stars. 1st and 10. And they're doing it textbook style right now, Coach.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. Run the clock, stay in bounds, hopefully. But still, he got the first down. So, you know, they're going to move the chains anyhow. It's not that critical on that play. To get the first down gives you 4 more plays.
So far, not a bad introduction for head coach Jerry Williams. 1 year at Barlow, they're in the playoffs. He's head coach of the North, and right now they have the lead.
Well, they've done a good job. They've had a good game plan here, and they showed some good patience and utilizing their players, I think, extremely well.
Neil Fendel, the ball carrier for the North. Pickup of maybe a yard and a half, bring up second. Second down, about 8. Clock is still running down to 2:55 remaining in the ball game.
If they could stop them on this play, they might want to use one of their timeouts so they don't wait till the last minute to use them up and give them a little chance to maybe come back.
They have 2 timeouts remaining, does the South. On count, Lewis on the toss, Fendel the ball carrier, nothing there. Nice stop by Royce McElroy, Eagle Point.
Good penetration by McElroy there. He got to the ball carrier quick. Wasn't as much daylight as Reynolds has been seeing.
Now is the South going to call time after the next play? They want to let another play run, huh?
No, that's another 30 seconds.
That's a lot of time, Coach.
25, 30 seconds.
Interesting. Clock's going to move under 2 minutes before the ball snaps. Toss, Fendel, right, challenges, outside, 1 man hanging on, carries that man. Chris Peach for 5 more yards, inside the 50, down close to the 46-yard line. First down North, big effort.
Yeah, I think there was a real key substitution there. Fendel looked like he's a little fresher with his legs. Reynolds looked like he was getting a little tired, and boy, he really turns it on and makes a nice spin and right there to get the first down. Knew where the down markers were and made a nice spin right there. And, you know, that's the type of first down that win games for you.
Neil Fendel. He'll be a Viking. Went to Milwaukee High School. Minute 30 remains. First down for the North. Yellow Lewis, the quarterback. Cameron Reynolds. Got him back in there just to let him probably have another carry to secure that statistic of a 100-yard game.
Well, there's a timeout. Yeah, you have to use them here and force them to hike the football as many times as possible.
Earhart came up quick on that hit. Now there has been a timeout called on the field with 1 minute 20 seconds remaining. And some of the people here not believing that a big break is going to occur in the favor of the South. They're starting to wander out.
Well, you get the feeling that that agreement of rushing 5 guys has kind of gone out the window here the last minute or two. I think you might see a few more guys up closer to the line of scrimmage, and I really can't blame them for that.
That's part of the particular rules they have for the Shrine game. It is not a penalty rule. It is a gentleman's agreement, and that's not to rush more than 5. But, hey, at this point.
I guess you can say it's always a run play from here on in.
Sure. Yeah, well, it would be a run play for as far as the North is concerned. I don't think they'll go up on top regardless. Let's go down to Craig Cheatham on the sideline.
Thanks, fellas. You know, one of the things that people don't consider when a ball player has a tremendous ball game like Cam Reynolds is what kind of condition is he in? Well, obviously he's in excellent physical condition, except for the fact that he has a headache. In fact, he's had a headache all day long. It has nothing to do with that heavy hit he took over on this sideline. So even though he's rushed for more than 100 yards, he's done it with a throbbing headache. Back to the booth.
Now, 18-13, 5-point lead for the North. And that throbbing headache just made him a little more ornery and cranky, and that's why he's been running so hard. He has done a tremendous job. Cameron Reynolds here this afternoon. And they always make him, it seems like the poor guy's got to run the wide side of the field all the time.
Well, he's done a good job on those sweeps.
The whole field.
Running those sweeps and returning punts. I'm sure he's going to get a good night's rest tonight.
114 yards.
It's a
104 yards.
Situation here where if you're the South, you you're hoping that the North maybe is a little bit of a gambler and will try a pass or something a little bit funny. You know, if you're playing to win the game, the North probably should end up running the football here and try to run the clock and get the punt off and make you drive 80 yards.
104 yards rushing, 16 yards in receiving yards for Reynolds. Huffman for the North, 61 yards rushing, 7 yards in receiving, and a touchdown. 50 carries for the North, 215 yards on the ground. You see head coach Jerry Williams, head coach of the Barlow Bruins, and the head coach of the North. Capping off and leading into what he hopes will be another good year for Sam Barlow High School, Mount Hood Conference. He got a little grin on his face. I think I'd be starting to feel a little comfortable about that.
I'm going to see him sprint out, but not to throw the ball here.
Trips to the right. Rolling right, Diallo Lewis. Hello, hang on to the ball. Diallo Lewis, they'd rather see him take the loss than to throw the ball up there. We got a flag on the play right at midfield. Lewis was dropped. Diallo Lewis rolling to his right. Indeed, he seems to be looking to pass. I didn't think they'd want to put it up.
Well, he sure did give the appearance. I thought he might sprint out and then just kind of settle down if there wasn't anything there, but he's going to put it up. Might have been a face mask there or something.
Seth Michael, Crook County, on the tackle. We're keeping our eye for you on the officials, and I'm sure you are. It's explaining the situation to the North captain.
It looks like it's going to be a major one, and that's not what the South wanted to happen.
Not now. Yep, you got it, coach. Face mask. That's big time, 15 yards, and just enough to give them the first down. Yep. That gave them the first down with just 1 minute and 3 seconds left. That could have been the backbreaker for the South here this afternoon.
The ball at the 36-yard line. First down
North still twice as many yards in penalties. But this one, very painful for the South. Run a little time off the clock. Cameron Reynolds trying to add. Maybe he's got 105 yards.
Well, they're in a situation right now where they can just fall on the ball if they want, and I think they're just giving people a chance to run a little bit more and keep playing the game.
34 seconds remain. This will be the last timeout being used up by the South. And Mark Gregg appears to be a little winded. He has played a lot of minutes here this afternoon.
You know, I think he got the wind knocked out of him there. I think he took a helmet down there, knocked the wind out of him.
You have been very, very neutral and impartial here this afternoon, but it has to do your heart good to have a player that you've been directly involved in his life playing so well here this afternoon. That has to be a great feeling, and one of the reasons you get involved in educating and coaching.
Well, it certainly is. It's fun to see him do a good job.
Diallo Lewis just putting the knee down to the ground. There are no more timeouts remaining for the South. 3, 2, 1, and this 45th annual Shrine Bowl All-Star Classic is over, and the North has recorded back-to-back wins. The North 18, the South 13. And you see the jubilant North All-Stars collecting around, and now for the traditional handshake down the center of the field. These teams may have been very close all week. They have practiced in the same area, one here on the artificial surface while one was up on the grass practice field. They have stayed in facilities that are very close to each other. Let's go down on the field right now with Ed Whalen. No, correction. We'll go down, and Ed's going to be talking to one of the coaches, I believe, a little bit later. We're going to come back with some of the post-game awards with Ed Whalen and other things going on here at Parker Stadium. Final score, 18-13, North winning the 45th annual Shrine Bowl. We'll be right back.
Pivot Power by Tunnel 360.
It's a fact. Conventional cleats often lock into the turf. Only Tunnel's patented 360 concept gives you pivot power, the performance edge, the best your game can be.
I tried out the Tunnels, and they have the grip, they have the bite that I need, the support where you can twist and your shoe won't get caught in the turf.
Tunnel 360 is available at all Anderson Sporting Goods and Jake's Athletic Shop in Corvallis.
Come, catch the excitement of Caro's new Seafood Festival with a delicious selection of quality seafood favorites. Catch the flavor of Alaskan halibut, flame-broiled shrimp and scallops, plus combination platters for the discriminating seafood lover. Sample Caro's savory crab bisque, a shrimp Caesar salad, or fabulous fish tacos. 12 selections, $4.99 to $9.99. So catch it now, only at Caro's.
The Shriners of the Alcater and Hilla Temples wish to thank the Buick dealers in Oregon and Southwest Washington, Tunnel 360 Shoes, and the Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company for presenting the 45th Annual Shrine Bowl of Oregon.
Final score 18-13. Now let's go down on the field with the Big Daddy and the Potentates. Sounds like a rock group from the 50s.
Okay, yeah, just call me the potentate of Channel 6. I have the two Shriners potentates here. From the Alcater Temple, James Davis, and from the Hilla Temple, Robert Hamilton. And you guys have the trophy to the winning team.
Right. You know, the winning team is in the North.
The North this year brought it home, and Ed, we want to thank them and all the people here for making a tremendous ball game and helping our kids in our hospitals.
A lot of fun. It's a good game, huh?
Yeah, a great game. We had a good time producing it, and we had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Okay, well, listen, thank you, and thank you for helping out. You know, the kids is the big deal in this.
That's what it's all about, Ed, and we've told the kids the motto of the Shrine, that no man stands so tall as when he stoops to help a crippled child. These young men today have reached new heights. They've done wonders.
Okay, well, that's a good deal, and thanks again. Thanks for the wonderful show. Thanks to the Little Daddies of Football behind me. That'll wrap it up from down here. The North is starting to sing and party, and we'll throw it back up to you in the booth.
Oh, I want to hear more of the singing down there. Something like the English pub songs. You better cut Ed's mic quick if it is. They're having a good time down on the field celebrating, and I certainly hope that the South All-Stars can find enough about this whole experience to celebrate, because there is more to it than the final score. They're going to be moving on to other adventures. Some of them it is the last competitive pads on and helmet on football they'll be playing, and that's got to be tough for some of them.
Well, I think that probably is. They probably enjoyed playing, but I think you're right. They're going to have great memories of this game, great friendships that they've made in the 10 days they've been around here on both sides of the team. And I just think they'll understand the memories they're going to have are probably the Tuesday when they went and visited up at the hospital. And, you know, I was there 20 years ago, and I still have memories of the kids you visited with and talked to and the smiles on their faces. So I think those things will stick with these players a very long time and make them very proud that they had a chance to play in this game.
We will be taking a look at some of the final statistics. Certainly in the rushing category, the North had some fine performances, 61 yards and 15 carries for Willie Huffman, but Cameron Reynolds with his 105 yards and 19 carries. You put them all together into team statistics, and you start looking down, and the edge started to show. It started to really show midway through the third quarter here, Coach, and from the first downs to the total yards, but very impressive rushing game by the North here this afternoon.
Well, I think so. They had a good inside threat there with Huffman, and Cam Reynolds certainly got outside, and I think it was 3 turnovers to 1. I think that was pretty good there, and well-played game. I think for 10 days of practice, you really have to give these coaches and players credit for putting a game together, a game that's well-played with few mistakes, and I think probably the one thing that was frustrating to the South was their inability to get their passing game going. I think they had higher hopes for that, but you have to give the North very good credit with the pressure they put on with those linebackers, and the speed and size at the outside there really was significant.
You know, it's so refreshing to see the end of a football game with a team celebrating and not have one of them look into the camera and go, "Where are you going, Joe?" Disneyland. It says something pure about this. Andre Griggs had his hand on the trophy, and they're passing it around. I don't know if that thing's going to have dents in it when they're through or not. There was Willie Huffman, number 32, who had an outstanding day on the ground also. Curtis Loeb, efficient, 6 for 15 for 63 yards, did not need the pass a whole lot here this afternoon. Diallo Lewis, 4 for 6 for 51 yards. We saw some good moments on just 8 carries for Mark Santos of South Salem, and somebody who you had to coach against for a while.
Well, both those kids from Salem, Mark at North and Joe at South, did a good job. Just didn't get enough chances. Their average per carry was quite well, but just not enough chances to really get things going. And I think, again, you look back at where they started, they just were struggling in a hole all day, and I think that was a real significant part of the game.
Well, Joe Douglas, the Offensive Player of the Year, carried the ball 6 times for 44 yards. Chris Chambers, the quarterback out of Ashland, 7 for 13 for 95. In the punting department, an excellent afternoon for Ryan Longwell for the South All-Stars. He punted the ball 7 times for an average of 48.1 yards per punt. And as is tradition, the people are allowed on the field after the All-Star games. Friends and family who've driven from all over the state to join this first game ever in the 45-year history out of the Portland metropolitan area. And everything just seemed to fall in line. It started when I got up this morning and saw overcast conditions, and then it cleared up. The weather was fine. Certainly the presentation of the game was excellent. We had enough wide open stuff to satisfy just about anybody. I think there was enough action for them all here today.
Well, I think we're ready for the football season now. These guys have gotten us ready here.
There's Chambers throwing the ball, and this is the one where that's a good pattern. That was a good touch on that ball. It was Mike Earhart.
Good concentration on the catch, because I'm sure he had to look through that arm that was going up there.
That was the South and blue. Chris Chambers to Earhart. Now you're going to get a chance to see Diallo Lewis, the young man out of Jesuit who played for head coach Ken Potter. Lewis will now use his athletic ability. He's going to stretch. He sees he's got a chance to race him to the corner, and he makes a fine cut here to about the 4 or 5 yard line.
Well, that was the real advantage they had there in the first half, getting outside and making some things happen on the perimeter, both with quarterback Lewis and also in the running game with Cam Reynolds.
They immediately came out and put pressure on the perimeter, didn't they? They went right at it as if it were part of the design. They were given opportunities, by the way, to watch each other's inter-squad scrimmages last Sunday.
Had a good idea and a good game plan. Coach Williams and I think his staff really did a good job of getting their team ready to go and stuck with it throughout the game. They found some things that were working and continued to run those things.
No, not really. Because
that's Cameron Reynolds, and he reflects the smile, the attitude, and the emotion of the entire North team here at the 45th annual Shrine Bowl, the All-Star Football Classic. Well, Coach, it's been a lot of fun. First time around for me for a while to do some play-by-play. Your first time up here in the booth. And I think that we were given a very excellent game and a very excellent program to work with. I really enjoyed it, Gary. I had a good time.
Well, I enjoyed myself, too. It's always fun to watch a good football game.
Well, you'll be watching a lot of good football games at the Corvallis Spartans continue, and they have an excellent tradition. His 15th year, Gary Beck, has been our color analyst here this afternoon. And along with us here, once again, between he and Gordon McKinster all season long have taken care of me wherever I seem to be mouthing off, is John Simmons, our able statistician. You will have an opportunity to see some names at the end of the broadcast of people who have helped put this together. To all of them, Kevin Oliver and his entire crew, I really appreciate your support. And all of you for joining us here on KOIN TV. For Craig Cheatham and Ed Whalen, John Simmons, and for Gary Beck, I'm Mike Stone from Parker Stadium in Corvallis for the 45th annual Shrine Bowl. The final score, the North All-Stars 18, the South 13. Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon, everyone.
Bye-bye.